Not something I usually do, I know, but I've been ill, and in my spare time, I've been speedrunning the Transformers Fall of Cybertron game. This is on New Game Plus Easy Mode, and I broke the world record. This commentary is with EagleForce. I hope you enjoy. There's some Discord links in the video description if you want to visit the Transformers Speedrun Discord server. I'm in there. There's some awesome people in there. All right, let's go. Hello everybody, hello, and welcome to a video that I wasn't expecting to make, but because I had suddenly regained passion for this game, I thought I have. This is, hopefully anyway, once I've submitted it, my world record speedrun of Transformers Fall of Cybertron, and I'm joined by the current world record holder, EagleForce.
Hi.
So Eagle actually helped me out with this run a massive amount, so I wanted to get him in and see what he thinks. How you doing? How are you doing today?
Oh, we're doing good.
Cool, cool. What's your first question? Because I think I know what your first question's going to be.
How are your optics?
We sort of discussed this controller. I'm curious.
Yeah, so I'm using an Xbox 360 controller.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, right?
Wait, what platform did you actually play it on then?
PC. This is on PC, baby. I bought it when it launched on PC, and my PC was so potato, and it was so poorly optimized I couldn't run it, so then I bought it on 360. So I bought the game twice at launch. Activision got double my money.
Honestly deserved.
Yeah, to be fair, this is one of those games where it does, and High Moon deserved it as well. May they rest in peace.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm using controller, and the reason why, because obviously your run used mouse and keyboard, right?
Yes.
So I'm using controller, A, because I played so much this game back in the day, I still had the muscle memory for it, which is one thing. But second of all, you said something in one of your videos, in your hard run video that you linked me, which was like, the controls are really janky for driving in vehicle mode.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Which they are, like, you could like flick the mouse a tiny amount and they could go really far. Other times you could be really smooth. No idea how the mouse acceleration works. And then I realized that actually roughly about half an hour of the game is spent in vehicle mode, pretty much. Nearly 20 to 25 minutes is spent in vehicle mode. And I was finding myself that because you know where spawn points are, you don't need quite as many twitch reflexes with the mouse and keyboard. But messing up later on because of the fact that the controls are so bad for vehicle mode meant that actually I'd get more reliable runs. If that made sense?
It's an interesting theory. I've never thought about it that way.
It is faster on mouse and keyboard, don't get me wrong. The amount of time you probably save versus controller is probably huge.
Yeah, there's like a couple of instances where I feel like I've screwed up just because the controls are just so janky. And I really don't know why. It's like the one thing like the PC port is like worse on. Mostly everything else is like more stable, it doesn't crash, it's just better.
Yeah.
But
there is one crashing point I had, although you will see there are two glitches in this game that I have to restart checkpoint from that was caused by the PC.
I'm gonna guess one of them was during the Grimlock level.
Which one? The Starscream one or the full Grimlock level?
Oh, the actual full one.
No, Starscream level.
Really?
Yeah, so there are multiple instances where, but we'll get to that in a minute. So I'm very interested, just so you know, everybody at home, there's nothing really to explain at the moment. This is the tutorial section of the game, basically broken up into what you can expect the gameplay to be like, and you have each section. Anybody could probably do this in about 7 to 8 minutes if you played it 20 times in a row.
Yeah, the world record I think is like 7:14 right now.
Yeah, so I'm at 7. At the moment, my sum of best is saying 7:21. If you see in the top left-hand corner there. So it's quite an easy level to go through. But there are some optimizations here which are quite cool. Like for example, this is New Game Plus, so you've got all of the upgrades, and actually meleeing enemies is going to be quicker than using your assault rifle in some instances. Like you'll see me double kill a guy here by just meleeing, which is quite cool, and then dashing forward. But the one level I found, which is actually going to be the next level, is the one that messes me up driving the most, which is the Optimus levels, because you have a lot of driving in those.
Yeah.
And the ground is very uneven.
Especially the initial driving segment of Chapter 2. It's like really bad.
Yeah, no, I've had many a problem there. But
Especially when you collide with like any sort of object. It doesn't matter what it is. Like sometimes you can just do like a massive barrel roll and it screws you all up, and it's just like, oh man.
Yeah, I actually have a technique for getting rid of that in the very next level. You know, when you do the massive jump at the very beginning. It kept happening so badly that I would actually transform midair and then retransform back.
I did that a couple times, and like not really knowing if it would be an advantage or not. I don't know.
It saved me from. I noticed that it saved me from the weird glitchiness, because you like just slow down randomly before you get into the tunnel sometimes, and it stopped that, and that was the main one for me.
It's one of the other things that I've done a little bit differently than other runners is that a lot of them use the Teletran 1 like store system to swap out their guns and equipment a lot. I don't really do that. I pretty much stick with the default whatever, just because I think that it's like whatever time you spend in there is like the couple seconds that you don't really need. And I feel like just good mechanical gun skills and just being able to eliminate people is like faster.
That's very interesting. I'll disagree with you, but only because I'm using a controller.
Yeah, the store system, that's another thing, PC-wise. It's, like, really bad. Like, on Xbox, controller would be a lot more intuitive to actually use the store.
No, it's worse. Because you have to use both controller and the mouse at the same time.
Ooh, that's even...
But the reason why I'm saying is, I basically use the riot cannon and the glass cannon through the whole run, with the exception of one level. And because then I don't have to worry as much about aiming because I'm using a controller.
Yeah, I don't know.
Look at this.
I don't
Look
think
at this.
there's
bobbling on top of the enemies before I can go into the gap.
I don't know. It was like, I don't know. I feel like most of the guns are pretty similar. There's only a couple of instances, I believe, where I actually swap out because I think that it's a significant advantage to doing so. But I mean, most of the time, you have a fairly decent weapon. There's like some of them in the game that are just horrible, and you can't really use them as a primary. You have to swap them. But most of the levels, they start you out with something pretty decent, especially like level 1 with the neutron assault rifle, because of the melee, add-on that you can buy for the gun. It's like really, really good.
No, I can get that. It's weirdly, I find the secondary weapons to be all inferior compared to the glass cannon. That thing's amazing because it can kill stuff through walls.
Yeah, that's about the only one
for me. But anyway, that's the first level done, and there you go, 7:16. I was 2 seconds off.
I believe that actually, depending on the milliseconds, it'd tie like my level 1 record.
So here we go, Optimus Prime. For anybody watching this, I bought this on pre-order on PC, so I actually have the G1 skin, which looks far superior to this. I'm not saying this looks bad at all, but it does look superior because G1 is everything. But I haven't used it, and I haven't used any DLC weapons. Not that there's any rules against it, but I feel like it might be unfair, potentially.
I don't think that the DLC weapons are substantial. I really don't.
The primary certainly isn't. It's terrible, the primary. But
it's fun to use, but it is horrible.
But the secondary weapon is pretty good. It's about as good as the glass cannon is, because it can actually kill more enemies at once. This section here is awful. Anybody who ever decides to run this is so, like, I purposely always go right. It's just...
The hardest part is just trying to figure out how to control this stupid thing.
Yeah, this bit on mouse and keyboard every single time was just an absolute nightmare. And here we go. So this is the jump that I was on about, we were talking about before. Going over here, like... As I would jump, and as I would get past this Decepticon that's in front of us here, I would then slow down, because there's like a piece of invisible rubble under me or whatever. So that's why I transform just before that. And I probably lose like a second, but as opposed to gambling whether or not I'm going to slow down or not is another thing. So yeah, but... So what made you want to get into speedrunning? Because this is quite a bit of a boring segment here, not much to talk about. So
yeah,
what got you into speedrunning this game?
The history of this game for me, I mean, it was like gifted to me as like a Christmas present the year that it came out, which was back in like 2012. So I mean, like, there's like 2 months or whatever that this game was out that I wasn't playing it. But ever since then, I was just addicted to this game. It was like kind of like the first like multiplayer game that I was really ever interested in, and like I just played the crap out of it, and I was like extremely good. I mean, I was probably like #1 on the leaderboard at some point. Specifically in Capture the Flag, because I hated all the other game modes. Capture the Flag was the best one.
Capture the Flag was actually very good in this game. It is a very good.
Oh, it was so good.
I will disagree that it's the best one, but it is very good.
So I think it's the best, just based on how unique you can play it, based on the multiplayer categories. Like, you can truly, all 4 classes have like a significant reason that you could play them. Like the Infiltrator or the Destroyer, Titan, whatever, Scientist. All of them had viability. And, you know, you could sneak around and try to, like, just pull the flag, or you could go in like a tank. You know, there's multiple ways you could approach it. The other ones, I feel like, depending on what you're playing, it could, like, take some of that away. Like, for Team Deathmatch, I think by far and away the best was the Titan or whatever it's called.
The Titan and the Scientist both kind of dominated TDM.
Yeah, because you can literally just like run around as a scientist with healing and heal the big boys, and then they can run around with energon harvesters and just suck literally the life out of everybody else. And it's just like impossible.
If you're a
to kill.
scientist and you find yourself on your own, you've got the Gear Shredder, which was like just mental as well.
And you can just like fly away if you know.
Yeah. All right, no, exactly. All right, so here's the first interesting bit of the run, the first hard bit of the run. The bit where you might actually run out of ammo. I'd be interested to see what your take is on how I handle this.
Yeah, this segment, I've thought a lot about this one in particular, because this one is super gun heavy, and I don't really know. I don't know. There's probably a lot of optimization to be had here. I don't know if there is a right or wrong way to do it.
Yeah, so the first bit's not too bad, to be honest with you. Ammo can be an issue here if you mess up. Ammo can be a really big problem, but I think you'll see what I kind of did. So it's about to start. Also, pro tip. Do you want to give the pro tip about the gun turret here?
What, that you can hold down on the thing where it tells you to look and it'll just follow it?
Oh, I get a red gun turret as well because pre-order bonus. That was part of the pre-order bonus. That one gun turret goes red.
Honestly, never even noticed.
Yeah,
if you're gonna be honest.
If you pre-ordered the game, then this one gun turret goes red when you get into it.
That is an amazing value.
Yeah, absolutely.
100% worth the extra bucks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or whatever.
100%. So this is my technique here. So everybody basically comes out of this one section, and I just literally stay there, and I use the transformation sequence to reload because it's just way faster. And Optimus can one-shot with his missiles as well. And then it all happens in sequence. So the one that above here, then they spawn next, and then it's on the far side, and that's it. So after I worked out that they spawn in sequence, you just have to kind of go with the sequence, if that makes sense. So this, I saved like 20 seconds here, because before I had no idea what I was doing.
Sometimes the AI can be a little bit janky, which throws up some of the patterns in the game. There's like other segments where like sometimes you know they're there and they just won't run out, and it's like really annoying. And then it throws over.
Yeah, that happens. If you look up where you came from, like they'll sit behind that wall over there sometimes, just where you see me like throwing a load of riot cannon over there because I wasn't sure if somebody was behind there, but
yeah.
Look at Warpath. You look so weird. Imagine just having a gun coming out of your chest. What a chad. Well, dearie me. So, do you want to talk about this section a little bit, because this section's a little bit weird.
I mean, kind of. I mean,
there is definitely, if there was a skip here, you could save 3 minutes nearly.
Yeah.
Because you have to go back and forth, you have to speak to him, not speak to him.
This is
and then a guy
one
blocks
of those
you.
levels I wish you could break, because this whole map, this whole level is based on like the same tiny little chunk. You just kind of like go in a big circle like the whole time. So being able to figure out how to like get through a wall somewhere and just like skip like all of it
Yeah, that's the thing in the way the levels are all designed, and it's just efficient design. Because this game on PC is literally, nobody will believe this. This game is like 7 gigabytes big.
Yeah. Honestly.
Yep, this game is like 7 gigabytes big. So yeah, High Moon were very into their optimization. It does show in the age of some of the text and textures, but like, look, I think the game still
I still
looks pretty
think
good.
this game looks good for being 10 years old.
It's because it's metal textures, isn't it? Like metal's
Yeah.
so much easier to make look good than like human skin, and the fact that it's quite a bit cartoony as well is helps it. So there are several sections where I nearly died. This was one of them where I panicked a little bit because you see red and then you're like, ah.
Yeah, that's like the one thing I did differently is I used that little device that they give you, and you just throw it in there, and it's just like you throw it in there, and everybody's dead. Now you might have like a better use for it than I do, but
I do, but I ended up I do actually have a better use for it, and I absolutely forgot to use it at the time that I should have done.
it's probably like right up here at like the top.
Yeah, absolutely right.
That's probably, yeah, that might be better actually, slightly. Because like this is like one of those sections where like they can just like run away, and then it's like trying to find like one guy.
It happens at the end.
It's just
it happens at the end of this bit. You'll see in a second.
Yep.
So yeah, I go up here. I got this like lovely little clean sweep. You see this guy here? You're like, I shoot, and I think, yeah, I dealt with him. I didn't, because the girder was protecting him from the blast. So as I come over here,
You've done that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I've done that. Don't need to do it. Why isn't the door opening? What's going on? Hang on a minute.
Yep.
What's happening? I've blasted
This
everyone.
happens like every run.
He's like, and then, oh, now he's there. There we go. Done. I can do this now, by the way. I don't do it in this run, but I can skip across there and jump across and have to avoid.
You gotta go to the left. That's the pro tip. You gotta go to the left.
I found the right. You see, the thing is I found the right. These are the bane of my existence in the whole run. Everything in Grimlock's level as well. Leapers. Do you want to explain leapers for the ladies and gentlemen?
Basically, they're completely unkillable from the front. You have to shoot them in the back where those giant vents are, and then they'll.
I think it's a
explode
95% damage reduction at the front. They do some damage, but it is.
You can kill them, but it is so painstakingly slow, and like no guns really do it. Like if you're Grimlock, you can just bash them a bunch of times, and they'll eventually explode. But not with any of the traditional characters. You can't just like. Yeah,
no. One thing that took me a while to figure out with this run especially is that when certain things are counted as like being done and you can move on, like Megatron's level for example, you could the whole first half of the entire, like the whole first third of the entire map, you literally just run through everything and then not worry about it. This section, I always thought that you had to wait until you finished listening to Ratchet before. Here's one. I don't know if you did this on your run, but by shooting him with this, I basically kill him before he gets down. And the splash damage hurts him enough to where he's one shot when he gets down. So I do that, and then boom, he's dead. And then you can make him sprint towards the thing, towards the lever. So then you waste no time getting to the lever. Badoom.
Yeah, so the one thing that you can do is if you have some sort of like rocket, doesn't matter if it's like a vehicle rocket or a handheld rocket, you can shoot them mid-air and they're basically a one-shot. So that's what I did. You wait for them to jump because they're leapers. So their sort of attack method is if they're far enough away from you, then they'll just jump in the air and just try to like land on you, and it does like a lot of damage.
Yeah.
But if you just like back up just like a little bit so they miss, and you can shoot them mid-air. It's a technique used on Megatron Returns. That's how you kill them all. Is just
I don't
shoot
do
with
that
a
on
cannon.
Megatron Returns. I figured out a little pattern for Megatron Returns. So I don't do it on
I
Megatron
see.
Returns. Yeah. So
That'll
yeah,
be interesting.
I also don't use Metroplex here either. I destroy him.
Also
like,
interesting.
I destroy him like that because by the time your Metroplex is enabled, you like run towards him and you're at this area here. You can just skip everybody. I was like, oh, I kept dying because Metroplex's like blast for some reason lasts for about 20 years.
Yeah. The worst part is like when you think it's over and you like sprint forward and it's like, oh, there's like one last,
The pixel.
whatever,
Yeah.
and then it's like, boom, you're dead.
Okay, so here's a really cool bit that I didn't do in this run, but I did do in a different run, is that I figured out that if you transform between doors opening, and if you transform between loading zones, or if you transform when the game's speed slows down, i.e. there, where I was trying to transform, you will retain the ability to dash even when the game says you shouldn't be able to. So on one of the runs, I was actually dashing through here, using the forward dash, which doesn't save much time because most of it is you're waiting for doors to open anyway, but it would have saved about 4 or 5 seconds in total. I still don't know how to replicate it fully, but yeah, if you do it at the right time and transform at the right time, and the game has to force you to transform back, then you'll be able to dash. And you know it's worked because the game will actually turn you 90 degrees when you do it completely. So there's a really good indicator. You can see here like how he's way slower. Everybody watching at home, I'm sure EagleForce knows this already, but
Yeah.
if you transform again when that slowdown is about to happen, again the same thing will happen. You'll turn sideways, and that means you know it's done. And then you can dash when you're not supposed to be able to dash. Although you can obviously dash through this section, which is fine. This is the Starscream section, which is I find hilarious because you're supposed to look at him through the window. But we managed to do it so fast that like he has blatantly no time to do anything whatsoever.
Yeah.
But you still can't meet Starscream in this level, which kind of sucks. Very underutilized in the campaign, Starscream. And there you go. This is a result of what Starscream managed to do in the 2 seconds that we were between us seeing him and him being left alone.
Yeah, right there where we passed that guy with the sword stuck in his chest. On console, that always freezes right there. Every time.
Does it?
And it's
Really?
like a 5-second, yeah, every time. Because that's like the trigger to load this area. And I don't know if it's just like console being so inefficient at loading it, but
This is
yeah,
a big
every
area.
single time there. Because most PC players will never see, but there is like an in-game like yellow loading icon where the game just basically freezes and it loads. Very rare to see it on PC, but on console it happens all the time.
Yeah, if
It's
you,
like
if you have an
trying to
if you
calculate.
have an SSD, it's basically insta-load. You never ever see it.
I mean, I play this on a hard drive and it doesn't even do that, but yeah. It might be on my SSD.
This is on my
private
This is
drive,
on my
which is-
RAID 0 drive. So the only way to make this faster would be to either install it into an NVMe SSD or install it directly onto my graphics card's RAM. Like that's the only way I'd be able to do it.
And it's like not even like a thing because your SSD would be writing literally more data a second. It's capable of more data a second than like the entire size of the game.
Not the size of the game, but certainly the size of probably the size of the level. Yeah, almost certainly.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you break it down, there's 13 levels, so I mean, if it's like 7 gigabytes, it's like what, like say 600 megabytes a level or something like that.
Yeah, I've got an SSD in my computer that does about 4,000 megabytes per second. So it's it's like, or megabits, I should say, megabits per second. But yeah, no, this game is definitely nice and swell with an SSD. Although that doesn't mean there isn't crashes on PC as well. There is a very big worrying area coming up in the next.
You did do the fun little glitch back there, I noticed.
I did the fun glitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I did. Everybody knows about that, right? And you can do it at other consoles as well. You just can't see it. You can do it at the Leaper console backwards as well.
It's really funny.
Yeah. I was just flying across the screen.
I don't even know how I found that. I was just like, I just
Mashing
like, feel
buttons
like
one day.
spamming keys, yeah.
Mashing buttons one day. So this is basically where the level wraps up a little bit. But there is a little bit of saves that you can sort of do here, targeting specific things at specific times, and then I believe the way the tanks come in after you've destroyed them is random. It doesn't follow a pattern, so you could get like a bad RNG one, but I don't think it makes a massive difference. I didn't time it. It certainly didn't make any difference to my my stops or anything like that either. So
Yeah, the timing is weird, but usually like the placement's always the same, so you can always.
yeah, you can predict where they go. You just don't know where they're coming from necessarily, which is kind of weird. But yeah, there's no real way of. I don't think there is a real way of speeding this section up. Although this would be an amazing time saver
Nah.
if you could skip it.
Yeah. there's a lot of like medium-sized levels. There's like only like 2, maybe 3 small ones, and then there's just like the long ones. And
Grimlock.
I dread. Yeah.
Called Grimlock.
Oh, I hate that level. I mean, it's
way too long.
That level is easily the turning point for me because it's like, I don't know, it's like such a like pace difference too. I mean, it's like you're going through all these quick levels, you're doing a lot of things, and then Grimlock, which is literally just running around a lot and doing nothing except like mashing people with a sword. But I mean, all of the Grimlock time combined is like what, like 25 minutes, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit longer than that, even maybe. Well, we'll see in a minute.
I honestly have to pull up the leaderboard just to like see what the world record times are, because I don't even know. I don't even know like what levels. I actually hold this level record actually, but yeah, I dreaded it, because, I mean, the problem is that optimization over 20 minutes
It's so
to
hard.
get like
Yeah.
a second is like, consistency is such a problem.
Yeah, that's
It's
the
like-
other reason I like the controller as well, is because on controller, consistency is better than mouse and keyboard in general. You might be better for aiming and reacting on mouse and keyboard, 100%. If you're playing a first-person shooter, mouse and keyboard all the way. But with a controller, the sticks will always go back to the same place. The button, with your mouse, your button might be at a different level to where your finger is, but on a controller, they're always in the same place. They always have the same level of travel as well. And they always have the same, like, reaction time and all the rest of it. So I found that, like I said, with the controller, who's the consistency, that's why I wanted to go for it. Here we go. Bit of a transform here, right at the very end. Probably saves you like half a second in total. Oh, do you do the dance when you do your missions?
No.
Can you see did you see the
I
dance?
see that.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
do that by switching shoulder as you as you go across. Oh dear. And then you get this level. This is honestly horrible.
Yippee.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is what I will thank you though, because
this driving section again.
yeah, it's so hard. It's so horrible.
Did I have like a life-changing tip in the commentary that I did?
Yeah, you had. Yeah. You had a life-changing
Wow.
tip. So the life-changing.
What was it? I don't even know what it was.
Well, you're going to see it in a second. So beforehand.
Oh, this little skip.
Yeah. The little skip where you jump up and then jump through the loading zone. That saves like 30 seconds of time. And you know, it was actually quite. Even though this is on easy, stuff can kill you. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not like this is actually easy, where every enemy is made of glass. Like if you have three assault rifles, this one here. So yeah, I never knew you could do this.
Yeah.
It's great. Up we go, and then straight through the loading zone. Which, to be fair, I didn't take that
Yeah.
loading zone off the final time, but there we go. It's not long,
Yeah.
and there we are.
That was just such. I hate that little section because you have to go like a hard 90 degrees to the left, hard 90 degrees to the right.
Yeah.
Another 90 degrees to the right, then another 90 degrees to the left. It's like so unnecessary. You can just go like straight through the whole thing, and there's like, I don't know, like a dozen to 24 people you can just not mess with. It's like so
No,
nice.
absolutely. Yeah, no, I was dying at that section because you would get up and you're like, right, you need to get rid of the one at the top of the stairs because he hurts. Here you go. You see where I changed 90 degrees sideways
Yeah.
there? That means that it was done correctly. That transform. I've been practicing doing it there because I had this theory that I could try and dash into it, which I was doing this run. I was like, oh, maybe I can actually dash after that section, but you can't, unfortunately. So here's a good one. Because there were so many Autobots down there, I just stayed up here to kill the Leapers, and they just so happened to RN Jesus. Just never face me. So I got rid of them really quick here. But yeah, this part of the level is all down to random chance as to who the Leapers go for. Are they coming after you? Where they go?
There's a lot of random chance when you actually think about it. I mean, you don't really think that there is, but I mean, most of the game's like checkpoints that you have to do to move on are locked behind killing X number of enemies. And
how those enemies behave.
And specifically, like, leapers, they are a pain because you cannot just shoot them. You have to, like, they target a weak spot, or they're just a bullet sink, you run out of bullets. And
and I've had it happen before, there'll be a random Autobot or whatever that's still alive, and then they'll just decide to turn around and, like, run after them instead, like, when you're trying to get in position.
This section is all RNG, pretty much.
Yeah, it is. Although I have found a way of making, like, I have got a way of making the next section a little bit nicer, kind of manipulating things and where they come from. But it's still, it's still a bit of RNG. And also, just random invisible walls that you hit, which is great. I love that.
It's actually really funny because you can just drive around there on controller, but, like, I have to transform and run because I do not trust myself not to fall down.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So that's, here we go. This is the bit that killed half of my runs. So when you go through here, if you go through here too quickly, it will crash, like 100%. So I actually kill the other enemies and pause for about a second before I press X, because for me, might not happen for you, I don't know, but for me, every fucking time it would just crash. I was like, I lose about a second there total, but it's worth it not to crash every time.
Yeah.
I'm interested to know how you deal with the next segment, because I haven't watched that from yourself. So how do you deal with this section?
Honestly, this section is another one of those that I wish I could skip, but you can't. And it's like, you genuinely just have to, I mean, the number one thing you have to be concerned about is your, like, airstrike ability, because as soon as that thing becomes available, you need to be targeting one of these marauders.
Can't you see what I do with my airstrike ability?
I mean, you use the intercooler to, like, instantly bring it back, but, like, later on, then there's, like,
I do it later on as well.
More.
Yeah. I do it through all of them. I worked out that it's way quicker to get the intercooler at each Teletran, way quicker than to wait for the thing.
That's the one time that it is beneficial, yes.
Because
in my opinion, at least, I don't know. The problem is, like, there's so many different ways that you can go about killing people in this game.
Everything you can die. I think apart from the drop ships, I think everything can die from your cannons. So
yeah.
So yeah, what do you do after you've defeated the Marauders?
Honestly, I mean, there's like a section over there, you're kind of looking at it right now, but usually there's a group of people over there, and if you kill enough people over there, then that's typically enough to
There's none.
Activate
There's none
the
for
next
me.
checkpoint.
It's all timed.
Really?
This is all timed, yeah. So that Marauder will appear no matter how many enemies you kill.
Oh yeah.
So I managed to get rid of them all, which leaves only these guys coming from this direction for now. And then as soon as I mark this guy, it's get the intercooler going. Ready for the next one.
See, typically I think I deal with the Marauder that you have right to the left first.
So the reason I admittedly something went wrong here, so I had to kind of adapt. But the reason why I normally don't is because if I do the other one, I can kill a load of the enemies that are on top of that area with the other Marauder. So that means that I should only have enemies in the right-hand side here to deal with, as opposed to around the rest of the map. Getting stuck on random stuff again. Love it. Gotta love it when that happens.
Yeah. Vehicle physics are no bueno in this game.
No. Don't get me wrong, this game is by far, by a country mile, the best Transformers game. There is no...
Oh, not even.
It's not even
There's
close.
not even a second place, really.
No. Everybody says they like War for Cybertron, but honestly, the controls in that game...
I never did.
The controls in that game are wrong.
They're so wrong.
They're so wrong. And that's not because I played this game first either. Like, you don't have the dash ability. I always play on War for Cybertron, I always play whoever has the dash ability. Because the dash is just, it makes sense. There's no sprint in that game either. It's just so weird.
No.
So yeah,
I literally asked the moderator for that game if I could like get like a keybinder like macro thing outside of the game, just so I could change my keybinds to something more sensible.
Oh yeah,
and like, yeah, you can do that, and I totally did, and it like made running that game like a little bit more
Yeah, that game.
I don't know.
That game, I think, because there is no sprint button, would be better on a mouse and keyboard. I don't like for me personally.
Well, yeah. There's also a lot more like specific, like points that you have to hit. Very, just tiny little details that make it very impossible for like a control. I mean, you could probably do it, but
yeah, you'd have to.
I mean, just watch the level 1 skip.
I've never seen it. I've never watched the speedrun yet, so
it is absolutely mental. I mean, just the level is like, I don't know, like 15 minutes, and like the world record is like 2.
Yeah, that's a big skip.
So it's like you literally just skip like 90% of the map. It's like insane. And you do it right out of the gate. Like you spawn in, you're out of the map in 30 seconds.
Here we go. So what do you do about driving here then? Because with a controller, this is relatively easy. But doing this on...
I've learned to control it through here, yeah.
With the mouse and keyboard here, I found I just couldn't do it. Wouldn't let me. My brain...
I play on a pretty low sensitivity, so...
I mean,
sort of going back to how I got involved in speedrunning is like after like the game server shut down. I don't even know when that was.
2018, I think it was.
Yeah, like after it like shut down, I basically decided that one of the only ways to stay involved was to kind of like speedrun this game, because I didn't even know it existed until like I don't even know what speedrun I found. I was like, oh, speedrunning is a thing, and then I realized, oh, there's like one guy that ever ran this game. I'm good at this game. Let me just do it. So I did. But around the same time, I had like a PC, and I was playing different like FPS games, like competitively. So
I don't want to interrupt you,
but
a
learning curve.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I do this. I turn Optimus around specifically so you can see him and Metroplex die at the same time. Because you're locked into this. It's the pose right there. Sorry, continue.
Yeah. Yeah, no. It was like a learning curve trying to like figure out like how to play this game on a PC, but then I don't know. A lot of it translates. Very little doesn't. The controls are a little bit weird, tiny little bit. I think like stuff like dashing, it's more comfortable to do on a controller. I mean, the controls on controller is just like top notch.
The controls couldn't have been done.
They make so much sense.
Yeah, the game sounds weird, but like sprint is on top left bumper, which sounds crazy, but actually for this game, because of the way enemies work, makes so much sense. And there is an option to change it so it's like your typical Call of Duty controls, and after about 5 minutes you'll be like, I want to change it back. Yes.
Like multiplayer played so well. Just like you could tell that everybody there was like skilled, and it was just like you were not limited by your movement. Like movement in this game is so fluid.
Yeah. If you get a triple kill in multiplayer, like you are god tier. Like you see that thing comes up, and to give you an idea of how difficult it is, there wasn't anything above a triple kill that would come up on screen because it was so rare. There's no point in programming it in. It just happened so rarely. But yeah, why don't you... I made a massive mistake here, so I forget to skip the cutscene at the end of this level. So I lose 25 full seconds of the run. to me just being like, speaking to my missus or something like that. But do you want to talk about... Because the rest of this is basically press melee to win. Metroplex comes back, hits Megatron. By the way, I prefer this design of Megatron to his new one that he gets rebuilt. I think this one's way better.
I don't think so. I think the other one looks cooler.
I think the other one...
It is interesting, though, how between War for Cybertron and this game, that some designs were completely different.
Optimus.
And then some are, like, the same.
Optimus has changed massively.
Yeah. It's, like, unrecognizable.
Yeah. Apart from his, like, head... Like literally, the rest of him is completely unrecognizable. Soundwave looks quite a bit different as well, from the front. But that might just be because War of Cybertron is so like gritted. Like there's no color palette in War of Cybertron. It's all all of these neon
That's
lights
reason
and
I
reds.
like that game.
If you look at like the lights here, if you're watching this at home, and you look at all of like the purple on Megatron and the red on Metroplex, and the purple is all of this would have just been gunmetal grey. Like in War of Cybertron.
Yeah.
which I like, but also you really notice the difference when you come back to this game and you're like, no, this definitely looks better, I think. It's a lot less cluttered, as it were. Looking at Megatron trying to shoot Metroplex is hilarious.
Also, I just think it's funny because you obviously punch down, and then you keep punching down, but then at the end cutscene, it's like the bottom of your fist. And I'm just like, why? Why is it different?
Well, no, the last one,
See,
because
like,
if you look at the last one, boom, it's...
You see, now it's different.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? It's like you're just punching down, now you're it's like, okay.
It's a good way, just so you know, I actually hit a book. It sounds weird. I hit a book like that. I was really frustrated in my youth, and I actually broke my wrist. So don't hit anything like that, okay? People at home?
Don't hit books, kids.
Don't hit books. Hey, here we go. Look, so I completely forget to skip this cutscene. I was just like sitting there. I think my missus came in. She brought me a drink. I was like, oh, that's great. But there's Jazz. My favorite transformation in the game is probably Jazz. He's great.
Oh yeah, Jazz was probably my favorite story character, aside from Soundwave.
Yeah, everyone loves Soundwave. I don't like his voice in this. I don't think Steve Blum suits Starscream 100%. I don't know if he suits Soundwave. I think Soundwave...
Oh, I love it.
Oh, not Soundwave. Sorry, Shockwave. I was thinking of Shockwave.
Shockwave.
Yeah. I don't think Steve Blum suits Shockwave's voice in this.
No, he does not meet the character, I don't think.
He's supposed to... Yeah, Shockwave is supposed to be super intelligent, very dry, and in this he just kind of sounds like kind of like a lesser Megatron. No hate on Steve Blum. I love Steve Blum. You're an amazing... He literally voices half the cast in this game.
Shit.
There's a stage when you're Swindle, when you're literally having conversations between the Combaticons and you're having conversations with yourself. There is a skip here. I don't sort of show off here, but I have got so close to getting through the debris here before Jazz stops speaking. There is a skip somewhere in this area. I don't know where it is, but I will find it one day.
This is like the one area that I would theorize that there's a skip for, that you could potentially save a ton of time. I don't know how it would work though.
Yeah, so...
And it's coming up here, but basically if you could just get across this lake when you can... oh man. Game changer.
Yeah.
I don't know. And the reason I think this one would have a high chance of working is because if you can get to one specific area, I mean, you'll see it eventually, but it triggers a cutscene. And I'm thinking if you could get there, it might trigger the cutscene and therefore force everything to load.
Yeah.
That's the problem
it could do,
with
yeah.
this game and Out of Bounds, is that typically it's not necessarily impossible to get out of bounds. But
It's
once
hitting
you're out
the
of
load.
bounds,
It's hitting the load screens you need to hit. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
Or it does.
Like,
It does.
we
But you have
talked
to hit it
about
at a
this.
specific angle, like the
Yeah,
vortex,
well,
like the vortex
yeah.
load zone.
It's just like really weird.
Yeah.
Cause like right here is like if you could just get across this lake, it skips so much.
Oh, you're
much.
skipping 4 minutes, easy 4 minutes.
Oh, not like, yeah, it's not even.
Yeah, easy 4 minute skip right here. Look, this guy spots me and I'm like, really? I was gonna sneak up on him, and that's when this is the thing, right? I kind of done something similar where I was actually sneaking through the game, most of the game, but I now only sneak through one section of this game. Everything else I go loud and proud. It was that guy had turned to face me, and I just automatically hit him with the neutron assault rifle. I was just sitting there going, huh? Why am I playing everything so sneaky? This is before I watched your video, before I watched everything else. I was like, why aren't I just running through the whole thing? I'm such an idiot. It's little things like that you get just by practicing. Although I will say one good thing: you can kill these two dudes with the glass cannon, and nobody else is alerted anyway. It's great. Saves so much time.
Yeah. Let me see if you do the one skip.
The one skip, which gives this. What the?
Where you jump to that platform.
Yeah, of course I do.
Okay.
Of course
So
I do.
it's like the little things. It's the little things.
That's the things that save you time. And just because, like, even though it took a little bit less time a little bit more time.
And that's a good like 20 seconds, I would presume.
Even though, like, little bits like that area, if you get spotted there, that door gets closed. Okay. That door gets closed, and then that means you have to open the door. But if you also get spotted, then shotgunners come out, which makes it more likely that you get shot off of the lever. Because, again, well, do you want to explain to the lovely ladies and gentlemen how levers work in this game? Because they are probably the bane of everybody's existence.
Okay, there is, I think, one lever that you can pull and skip. There's one. And aside from that, you literally just have to, like, pull down on whatever key it is for, like, 10 seconds. And if you move at all, it, like, just resets it to the beginning. It's so annoying.
Or if you get shot.
Yes. That's the other one. That's, like, why the Vortex skip is so nice. Because... yeah, you do it, so you won't see the alternative, but the alternative is just like, what, like 2 levers, and you basically, there's like, I don't know, like 4 dozen enemies or something like that. There's just like all the people.
Yeah, there's probably there's 2 marauders on one side as well.
Yeah, so you have to kill everybody before you can even attempt that lever, because they can and will shoot you while you're trying to open it, and you will, in fact...
Would you like to know something really sneaky?
Just reset.
So before I watched your run, where you show that skip, where I was like, oh my god, I'm going to save 5 minutes here.
Yeah.
I developed a technique so I wouldn't have had to have killed everybody, and I could just pull the lever nearly straight away by just killing the marauder and half of the enemies. And that was by picking up the shield at Teletran 1 and shielding my left side.
I've tried that, and it typically didn't work.
You need to be so unbelievably close to the lever with the shield, but it does work, and it did work. And I was like, I'm super smart, I'm super sneaky, this is so great. And then I saw your vortex skip, and I was like, and there was nowhere else I could use the skip, because if you do there is a little mini skip in Swindle section that makes enemies not load in, because I used to use it there as well, pulling the lever to get the cannons out, and it was and I used it there as well. But since I learned that you can unload half the enemies in the area, I don't need it anymore. So unfortunately, my little mini invention, which I was really proud of, never gets used. But yeah, this section again, if there was a skip here, this is a good minute saved here. It'd be nice.
I kind of like this part though. It's a nice little like calming break. It's a nice little just like refresher. Just we can look at these little planets, and yeah, it's nice. Although it's like early enough in the run that you still have enough stamina, but towards the end, like the Grimlock level is just pain.
Yeah, the Grimlock level is the one that really, because you've been concentrating at that point for an hour and 45 minutes, and you have a half an hour of Grimlock, who is not
and the challenge
the most
is that
interesting player to play either.
The last level is so, like,
it's so
like,
fast.
Again, just monumental punch. Like, yeah, you play like what, 5 different characters, and you have to do different
each
things.
level is about a minute and a half. Like each character is about a minute and a half, roughly.
Yeah, and it's like everything is just so fast, and it's just like you're like half falling asleep because you concentrate really hard on the beginning of this run, that it slows way down, and then it's like boom, all of a sudden at the last
the worst
minute.
bit is one of the fastest bits of the run, which is right before, is Starscream, which is literally in the same level as Grimlock. So
yeah,
Starscream is so quick, it's unbelievable. But yeah, as I say, Starscream glitched out. But this level isn't really that interesting, to be honest. Other than the fact that guess my health in a second, what it's about to go down to.
Ooh, like 6.
Oh no, there we go. Learn that.
Ooh, 1.
No, not
Let's go
quite.
Straight to 3. Ooh, I see. That is why. Yeah, that is why I always wait to kill the first guy with, just like your assassin abilities. And then you can go gun-ho, because then it's a little bit easier. But if you can avoid the damage from the first guy, it's like, the problem is like this run is so long compared to other game runs.
Yeah. It's not
the longest.
It's not the longest by far, but it's a good, like, unoptimized Legend of Zelda game long.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like, the problem is like, I don't want to spend an hour on like world record pace to then take a risk of dying right there. Because I mean, like, one more bullet and you're done. Like,
so I have
pretty much done.
I have this philosophy, right, with this game when running it, which I was like, because it's so long, if I make mistakes, no matter what I do, I will finish the run. If it's good or bad, I won't quit, just because then at least I get the practice of running it. And that's how this happened. I wasn't expecting to get the well, what could potentially be, once it's been verified, the world record out of this run. It just so happened to be that, like, because if you look, I'm 4 seconds ahead on chapter 1, but the second chapter 2, if you look at the top, it's like 7.1 seconds, and I'm only 11 seconds ahead on Metroplex. It's not like I was setting the world on fire or anything like that at all. Like, I was just thinking, oh, we'll have a nice little fun little run. The missus has gone out. Let's give it a go. Also, do you know why I have The Rock as chapter 4?
Is it? I don't know. My guess would probably be that thing that like almost killed you like a second ago.
No, it's because The Rock voices Cliffjumper in the very first episode of Transformers Prime.
Oh my god.
So we're playing as The Rock. Yeah.
That is such a nerd little Easter egg.
Yeah, a little Easter egg there. He never plays him when, like, you look at memories, because, spoiler alert, Cliffjumper doesn't survive in any Transformers media ever. Except for this.
Literally, in Bumblebee movie, just gets smoked.
Yeah. This I think is the only time I think I've ever seen Cliffjumper live in any sort of media, which is this game. Like,
or they all die, depending on...
Or they all yeah, well,
you look at it.
Yeah, well, hopefully they all die, because I'm going to pretend that Darkspark never happened.
Oh, man.
What a...
Darkspark.
What a terrible...
No.
Terrible game. It doesn't exist. Yeah.
Which was so surprising, because following this, I thought, okay, this is going to be amazing. Oh,
I knew it was going to be bad, because it didn't say High Moon on the box.
All of the movie games are super bad, typically. I mean, some of them are good.
Some of them are...
Like, the first... Like, Transformers, the game, is, like, so oddly good. But...
Yeah, it's mid, though. The thing is, it's just, you got nothing else to compare it to other than this game, which is amazing. So it's just mid, I think.
Yeah.
Because I've played that game as well. I played that one. I played War. I never actually completed War. I'm doing it at the moment. Obviously, this game I have probably God knows how many hours I have in this game, multiplayer and campaign. Who knows?
Oh, I'd say mine's probably like 4 or 5 digits.
Yeah, the franchise I've put the most amount of time in, other than potentially Call of Duty, is probably Monster Hunter, which is about 400 to 500 hours per game, and I reckon this is probably 1,000 hours. Not on PC, on 360, yeah. Oh, this is a lovely bit of I think you'll like this. Let's see what you think about me tackling this section here. It's a nice little section, a little route I came up with. I'm not sure if you do the same thing.
I don't believe that particular window, but there's like one further down. Probably like an extra like second, maybe 2.
Yeah. That's the one thing I will say about Teletron 1, which I love, is the fact that there is a perk that allows you to get full ammo back from it.
And health, yeah.
Yeah, and health, yeah, exactly. Absolutely. This section is super boring, so why don't you talk about a bit of Jazz's section, as he is so awesome, because this is literally defend the bomb. You can't make it go faster or slower. If there was a...
the one thing that I really want to see with Jazz's level is how you approach that one sniper shot that you have to hit onto that rusted head thing.
Oh, okay.
Or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Because...
How do you do it?
There's a lot... I like basically grapple like all the way to the right, and I'm like super like not level with it. I'm like super... I'm like the lowest level.
I don't grapple at all.
Oh. Yeah. See, there's just like so many like things that like... The problem with this game is that there's a lack of people to actually like run and figure out things, and it's like for example, it's like my world record that this will probably be is so outdated now that it's like if I were to run it with like updated tactics, I mean I don't even know what we could get it down to.
I reckon I could get this down to 220. Under 220.
Oh. Dude, the problem is I'm the only one that has a current record below 230, which is like kind of sad.
Until now.
Yeah, till now. But I mean, like that's taken forever. I mean,
3 years, isn't it?
Oh, I can't remember when the original. He actually deleted it. The head moderator deleted it. His run, but it was like a 2:35 or something like that. But aside from like him, like, yeah, I'm the only one that's gotten a sub 230 that's like a current record. This would be sub 230 as well, but.
So I got a 228, which is the one that we were gonna like comment on originally. It was like 228.59, and then the next day, I'd asked you to do the. I asked you, I said, oh, I got this run, it's great, let's do this commentary, and you were like, yeah. And then the next day, I found myself where I finished work like 2 hours early, and I was like, well, I've got nothing.
Why not?
Well, I got nothing else to do. Let's give it a go. And then this happened. Although, as you can see, the sum of my best, which is what's showing up the top, my sum of my best said I could get 223. But that was if I made like no mistakes, etc., etc., etc. And I have been like doing singular levels where they get updated there as well. So it's not like I was thinking there thinking, yeah, that's possible, or that I could potentially beat it. You know, like I was like, yeah, it would be whatever. I hate this bit. I swear there is a pattern of them spawning, but it feels so irregular.
Yeah, I usually just like back myself in a corner and just like let them come in front of me.
It's just not the fastest way to do it, though. That's the problem. This is where a mouse and keyboard would be far superior.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. But
although, kind of not really. You know, the reason is because of the melee. Because I think it's much easier to aim and shoot and melee at the same time than it is on mouse and keyboard.
Well, here's another thing though, which I don't know if you knew or not, but if you use controller on this game, you have aim assist on PC.
Not on PC, I did not.
Yes, you do. It mimics the 360. Yeah. So if you aim down sight, it will also aim into an enemy, which can be very, very useful. Hence the name aim assist.
Yeah.
But sometimes it can be a hindrance. Like it can throw you the wrong way, like in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So it depends. Look at that transformation. Oh, so good. I love Jazz's transformation, man. Just starts breakdancing.
Yeah.
And the music when he transforms as well.
Honestly, his design was just so amazing in this game.
Oh, his design is absolutely fantastic. I still think that the absolute best designed Decepticon, best designed, I guess, Transformer in this game is, and you can only see him in multiplayer as well, which is annoying, is Hardshell, the Hardshell design for when he transforms into the bug. And the movement. Nobody will know what I'm on about because he was a DLC, so almost no one owns him.
Oh, man, his little legs.
His little legs. And they just go, and then when you boost, like the boost comes out of where his wings should be, but they're not wings.
He's like a little beetle.
Yeah, it's just so funny watching it. Like, and the worst thing is, he was Titan class, wasn't he? So like, he was big, but when he went into a bug, he looked like the same size as a scout. So it was, and then just running along
at the same time, like kind of like disgusting and ugly at the same time.
Yeah, it is. He was awesome. I loved
so
it.
So unique.
Absolutely. Everybody used to remember when the Dinobot DLC came out, and I was just more hyped that I could like play as Hardshell as this really weird bug that can run around the map.
Grimlock is insane though. I think Grimlock has never looked better than in this game, which is like really sad.
Yeah.
Like even G1, I've never seen it like that good.
Man.
Even in the movies.
The movie. I hate movie Grimlock. That ain't Grimlock. That ain't my Grimlock.
The problem is like they wrote him really well because I mean if you look at like G1, I love this glitch too where you like pull him up and he's not there. Love that.
Yeah, happens a lot.
Love that.
You can,
but on console, like that would break the game.
Yeah, it would. That would break the game. You'd have to restart here.
Yeah, but it's like in like G1, he was supposed to be like not that intelligent, but he was loyal and he was really strong. In this game, they have that, but he's like
in this game, he's based on the comic book version. Isn't he?
Yeah, he's like kind of like intelligent and he like knows what he's doing. And even though he's still like
he's not dumb.
Rushed right into the face of danger. He's like it's calculated.
He's not.
There's a lot more nuance.
He's not dumb. It's like he's able to think, but he's not able to get the words out because of what's happened to him.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
It's really cool. He's basically based on the comic book version of him, the IDW comics.
So much more nuance.
Yeah, it's so good. His design is fantastic. But here we go. We're about to find out how do I do the cyber thing. How do I do
The
it?
sniper thing in the
sniper
jazz
thing.
level.
In the jazz level. This level can break as well. When you pick up the sniper rifle initially, sometimes it just won't let you pick it up. And then you're just stuck there. And at that point, you're
Actually, though, I've noticed that it like won't like prompt me, but you can still like hold the keybind down.
There you go.
Okay, that was actually a lot faster than how I do it.
Go below, shoot upwards.
Yeah,
then
no,
you can-
I
you
would
can dash
have gone
across
to
that
like
as well.
the right side. Yeah, yeah. I've done that, but like I'm on the same level, but I'm just like way farther to the right.
Oh man, you can do it. You can literally do it. The funny thing is like I spent ages on this level, like looking to see where I can shoot it from and where would be the quickest place to do it. And it's just you just jump down. It's don't even jump, just fall off the edge.
That's the problem. Is like I need to like spend more time just like not running, but just like going through.
Do you know what?
Especially with like the new tech. 'Cause, like that's the problem. I did that originally, like when I first like was trying to get familiar with PC running, and then I haven't done it in years.
Honestly,
like, actual years.
The best way of doing it, I've found, and because I know these levels at the back of my hand, and I'm so bored of them, in a way, unless I'm running it, and then I'm on full concentration mode. This bit is actually hard. This is probably one of the hardest bits in the whole game, because you can get teetotaled here if you don't do it right. As you jump up here, I'm sure you know this, but as you jump up here, enemies will spawn on top of you. You can actually watch there. That dude just spawns in. And these guys, for whatever reason, do double damage. No idea why. They just do. Look at my health. There's one guy shooting me.
I'm pretty sure I go the long way around.
Nah, you got to do it fast, man. Go fast or go home.
Speed.
Be the fast. But yeah, like, I found a really fun way of doing it was to like just have some media going on the right hand side of my the right hand side of my screen or your phone or whatever. And wasn't even to like, but actually just play the level a little bit normally. And that's how I found some things. Like, I'd be like, oh, these guys, they spawn from over there. And because I was playing it normally, like, you could let them spawn in and see them. It's like, okay, so is that tied to them spawning in after I've killed these other guys? Then I'd reload the checkpoint. It'd be like, no, they just it's a timer. So these guys will appear there at a time once. So if I deal with everybody on the left first, all the right guys will come in. And because I always have the right cannon and I always have the glass cannon, I've always got an area of effect weapon. I can deal with them as they're spawning in. That's another reason why I don't see the reason to use a mouse and keyboard. Because normally I'm hitting the enemies when they're spawning in, where they're spawning in, if that makes sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, I know where each of these guys go, and I've got splash damage, so if they go behind the pillar, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Boom. Boom. So annoying, shotgunners take 2 hits.
Very annoying, yes.
They take 1 hit from the glass cannon. You see it again, I'm in the reds. Being in the red is not good, by the way. You don't want to be in the red ever.
But see, like, that's the thing, like, the new game run, just nothing. Oh, it's so much more difficult than you would assume. Because, I mean, by default, if you just bought this game originally, you have 100 health. Only, like, once you have, like, a ton of, like, the in-game currency that you can actually buy, like, the health upgrade that, like, literally doubles it to 200. It gives you an extra 100, so, like, Grimlock normally has, like, 500, and then you get 600.
Yeah.
But it's just, like, that is so substantial for most of the levels. It's, like, insane.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, you saw there, like, I'm at 107 right now. If I was playing this game not on New Game Plus, it would be at 7.
It's literally 7. And earlier when you had 3, you're just dead.
Yeah, 100%. But
just for reference, that's why the new game record. Oh wow,
is a lot slower.
It is. Take a guess. It's my record.
It's half an hour, isn't it? It is literally half an hour.
It's
slow.
3 years old. It is 2 hours and 52 minutes.
There you go. It's half an hour. Slow.
That is so unoptimized. Wow. What's funny though is the normal record is 2 hours 59 minutes, and then hard is 3. Oh wow, 3 hours and 50 minutes. Wow. That was like the first run I did on PC because I was just like, okay, so I got this game on PC. I need to unlock a bunch of crap anyways. I might as well just record myself running this because there's no record, so I just did it. That is the most unoptimized run. If you want an easy record, play this game any percent on hard. I guarantee you can probably be faster than what I did.
Any percent on hard. You know what? The hard on this game is hard. Like,
it is hard.
Easy isn't that difficult. Like, if you make a mistake with a shotgunner in front of you, that's it. You're done.
There's like you have to be careful in a couple places, but normally you're pretty you have a pretty good cushion between danger and what you're doing.
Yeah, the jazz bit here, where I said before, like, is one of the most dangerous bits, where I went down to 107. Like, that is for whatever reason, like I said, they do double damage. No idea why. It might not even be double damage. It might be 1.5, but it is more damage. But yeah,
I'd be interested like inexplicable.
And I'd be interested to know what you do here, this section, because this section, again,
so immediately I go left, and I try to kill as many of these little pods as possible.
Interesting. Okay, and what do you do? What do you do when the swarmers start coming in?
Literally just sort of like follow the pattern and just go left, and then so eventually like the door on the left will open, and then there's like a group of like 8 of 10 of them, you know. So then you can kill all of them at once. And like so like right here, I just like stand like right here, shoot these guys, deal with them, and then the next thing that happens is that the door behind you will explode.
Opens.
Yeah. So then I go over here. Yep. And I believe I get like the dimensional bomb or whatever it's called, or no, it's this thing. I always get this thing.
The thermomine.
And throw it in here.
I don't do that.
So what I do, I deploy it up against that door, and then I run away, and I get to the other side before that door ever explodes.
Interesting.
I'm in movement to the other side before that door explodes, because I know that those mines will like take care of them.
That's really interesting. So I use the mine on this side so that I don't have to deal with any of these guys.
It might be a better tactic, because then you can quicker deal with like the spitters and these guys, but I think either way it's like the same amount of enemies. It's one of those things where it's like on paper you get deer eyes, but it's just like there's like really no difference.
To me it was
like
the
kind
thing,
of the problem.
To me it was the thing, like, because the other side because the other side when they spawn is I hate these things. Because the other side is timed. When you kill the last ones of the other side here, where the mine is, it's more beneficial to kill them quicker, because the flying bugs will then actually load in because you killed them, whereas before it was timed. So that's why I do it that way around. If that makes sense. So the first bit is timed. So when they bust through the first door, I'm like, okay, kill all those guys manually, then go to the other side. Normally I can kill them quick enough where the other guys haven't spawned in yet. And then, but the quicker I kill those guys, the quicker these guys show up. And I hate these guys. They are awful.
Oh, man.
This could probably be 20 seconds more better optimized. If I got a different weapon, as a shotgun probably would work a lot better here. And actually, sometimes just transforming will work better. Like there, I missed a load of times. But actually using using car mode.
Yeah, I've thought about that a lot too. Is like, should I just transform every single time, and like a lot of the time. Also, I love this right here, because on console this will just break sometimes, and the whole run is dead.
I found out that it's way better to transform here, because you do that little jump, and if you haven't transformed and you skip the scene, then he does an even bigger jump and it takes longer, so you have to transform before the cutscene.
Talk about mouse and keyboard controls. This right here is the single worst mouse and keyboard vehicle control in the game.
This was the section, this and the Optimus section was where I just sat there and went, right,
nope.
No, so we're going to be using controller. And you can see,
I don't know why, but like if you hit these guys, because I mean that's like what they want you to do, is they want you to ram. But it's like if you hit those on mouse and keyboard, it's just like nope, you're just going to
you just fly left or right or whatever it may be. And now for my favorite level in the game. So
I hate this level.
This is my favorite level, 100%.
No.
This level's awesome. I love this level.
No.
And why don't you explain to the lovely ladies and gentlemen what this level is actually about? Because about
like the lore, the actual story.
Not the actual story. The story is it's not Icon. Sorry, no. The story is. What? Explain to them what you're supposed to do in a level.
So, what's basically happened is that. So in the last level, we basically were like, oh, there's a giant like lake of Energon. So the Autobots are like, hey, let's get this massive like transporter that's like super old and like slow, and we're just gonna transport this thing. So they basically pump the lake dry, and they're like, okay, we're just gonna take all this stuff. And now the Decepticons are like, well, we're not just gonna let you take it. So the idea is that this big, heavy transporter thing is having to like drive on land over this bridge. So you're basically tasked with, you gotta like infiltrate like the underbelly of the bridge, kill so many people, and destroy the bridge supports so that they basically can't drive over this bridge, and the transport's at a standstill, and then the Decepticons can like properly attack. And we basically were just like, how about we just do like a wall glitch and like do none of that, and then just like kill like one Titan at the end, and then boom.
Yeah. So
end of level.
So literally, this is the level I practiced the most, obviously, because
This one,
yeah, because if you get the glitch wrong,
this is
you
make
lose
or
time.
break. Yeah, this is like my make or break, and
Yeah.
usually if I can't do this quick, then I'm just like done.
Like I said, I made a pact with myself, but I don't think if I hadn't made that pact with myself that I'd finish every run, this would also probably be my make or break point. But I can give you a tip. Would you like a tip?
Yes. Because I've only done.
Don't use the grenades.
This.
Don't use the grenades.
Don't use the grenades.
So if you watch, and I don't, do you know what the worst thing is I don't do it here, but I might do it here. So Vortex, who is the character we're playing right now, the helicopter from the Combaticons, is a really, I lose a little bit of time there with the intercooler, is really probably one of the best Transformers in the game. Oh yeah, I get a controller disconnect here as well, which is nice. But shooting this guy and destroying this with the... they would have taken like one more bullet there, which is really annoying. But shooting him with the bullets is actually quicker than using the grenades and waiting for the grenades to come out. And you can maintain your speed while doing it as well. It just so happened that at that point I was literally one bullet off, and I counted them as well. That's the worst thing afterwards, and I rewatched footage. I was like, if I shot him one more time, because that cannon can kill you in 2-3 shots.
Yeah.
Which is not good.
This glitch right here is really, really fascinating. So there's somebody in the community that basically like brought this to my attention, and I don't know why, but after I used this method and beat the record, they basically just like deleted everything and just like moved on. So it's kind of sad, but they brought this to my attention because they were like, oh yes, like some guy when they're like beta testing this game like accidentally discovered this. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like this glitch, which is like the only like big speedrunning tech in this game, was found during a beta. Yeah. I mean, I just thought that was like really hilarious.
Even if you're well optimized, by the way, and I know you know this, but even if you're well optimized and you use my little shield strategy we were talking about earlier, this skip,
even comparable.
This skip still saves somewhere between 4.5 if you're the best player on the planet, and about 6.5 if you're pretty average minutes. That's how insane this is. This level should be, if you're playing it normally, it should be 10 more minutes long than it actually is. If you're playing it in a speedrun sense, it should be 5 minutes long more, which is mental.
So there's a guy that ran this game who did a bunch of like individual levels called Mango Cold. That guy, love that guy. He done like all the levels that I never wanted to do. So I think he still holds like the Grimlock level because I just do not want to play that one.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I think at one point he had the record for this particular level, and it was 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Then
I might be faster.
It's down
than
to
that.
4.
Down
to 4:54. Yeah, with this skip, because that was Mango's record for this level was pre this skip because it was 3 years old. Then there's Draco Quake, who did this, who got a 5:30. Who I believe did use this, but again, the person that actually...
I should time this, because if you look, between my Chapter 6 start and my Chapter 7 end, even just here, it's 3 minutes. So this might be a world record for this level, potentially.
Yeah.
Which is...
I only did it like once or twice just to like beat the person that did the record, but...
honestly, if you sit there and you play the level, and once you've done the skip, just hit reload checkpoint, you can practice this within a minute time span, like over and over again. It's really, really cool.
Yeah.
It's a really cool level. There you go. So 13:27 to 17. So that 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's 3 minutes and 30 odd seconds. So I should time this. I should time myself doing that level.
Yeah.
But I love this level, the swindle level. Not this level, sorry. The one after this level is awesome. And do you want to explain about checkpoint skip?
I don't even know.
It's so boring. It's so boring.
So basically, I'm pretty sure that, okay, so obviously you can see that the transporter is moving. So I'm pretty sure the way that they figured out, basically they're like, okay, if you die, the transporter is going to be a certain, like at a certain point, like on the drivable portion of the map, right? So because we're so quick, it takes forever for you to actually, like, basically, like the normal person that's playing this game casually, it would be like fine, like you'd get to where it needs to go, and then you'd be able to like do what you want to do. But we're doing it so quick that like we just have to wait on the transporter to like show up, and it's like really annoying because you like lose like a minute or something like that.
They have
it's
to
like
show
insane.
up to this area specifically.
Yeah. So if you just like reload after you've destroyed the back wheels, then it's just like it glitches this thing up to where it's supposed to be, because that's like what you're waiting on.
I don't think it's even glitched. It's blatantly intended. They intended it to do
this.
It's
intentional, but like we'll call it a glitch because there's like no other glitches in the game.
It's a skip. It's a skip. It's not even a glitch. It's just a skip.
Yeah, it's a better term. Yeah, skip. It's a skip. The reload skip.
Yeah. This level is super boring, but is so fast. It's crazy. And as ever, of course, we have as the Chapter 8 icon Chungus, because you do become, you do become Big Chungus in the next level.
I love the icon for this one, though. It is so fitting.
Well, yeah. That's G1 swindle for you.
It's like so small I couldn't even tell it's G1, but yeah, it's just like whatever that is, it's like perfect.
So yeah, but these Titans super easy to get rid of with swindle. Not so hard.
Oh yeah.
Not so easy to get rid of as Vortex. We didn't talk about Vortex though. I get rid of the Titan with his EMP ability and the intercooler. It's just the quickest way of doing it. So you intercool and you just EMP the thing constantly, and it gets rid of it pretty much instantly. This level is probably my favorite speedrunning level, because like there's so much just really cool movement in this level.
Yeah, except for once you're Big Chungus, because Big Chungus is very clunky on mouse and keyboard. Holy crap.
Again, Big Chungus, there's some optimization, and the worst bit of RNG, which is the roaming around of the bloody
little jeeps, yeah.
The little jeeps.
Whatever.
But yeah, this bit here, I thought this was genius. I saw this in your run, and I was just like, oh, absolutely. Why would I run all the way around the outside? What a stupid idea.
You know, it's really funny because I didn't come up with a lot of like the current strats. I just perfected them to like what they are. And like the problem is like the current world record for the full game.
I have to interrupt you here because this is quite significant. So, do you know about this? So, if you specifically hook on to that point there, half of the enemies in this section don't load in.
I never like counted the enemies. I knew you could skip that. I never like figured out that
6 enemies.
Like, yeah,
and they only load 2.
So I've never noted. Like I've never counted.
So yeah, if you do that bit normally and go the wrong way and go around the outside, 6 enemies load in, which means that you can then use my little shield technique. But if you just skip it and then die here, obviously, do you want to explain quickly why you want to die here? Real quick, because there's another thing coming up which I know that I've discovered. So if you die if you die here, you skip a load of dialogue. But this is something I've learned. So if you dash forward, transform, come down here, instead of going onto that bit, if you miss and then just go there, you don't get slowed down by the explosion, and the Autobots don't spawn in at all. So
interesting.
So you can literally, it saves like 2 seconds. I also boost under here and then directly grapple in thin air. But yeah, and then the rest of this run is the rest of this section of the run is super boring. It is funny you get to watch your Autobots spawn in though. There you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry. Continue what you were saying before.
Yeah, like a lot of the stuff that like have been found by like just random people that like only do like one level, and they're just like, hey, like I found this thing. I'm like, well, that's cool. Let me run this. And then like I don't know, like those people like disappear. It's like really sad that like they'll find like really like interesting things, sometimes like pretty major things in how you approach it. But like that little like dashing just like, you know, from platform to platform, I didn't find that. I just saw somebody else do that, because it's like, how did you save 10 seconds that like I seemingly can't find? And it's like, what? Okay, I didn't know you could do that. Let's just do that. And then it's just, I don't know. I've refined a lot of like what has been found by the rest of the community.
So, shall we talk about Big Chungus and the...
Oh, man.
So,
easily one of the coolest characters, but like so frustrating to speedrun.
for everybody who wanted to know, Swindle, Vortex, and the rest of the Combaticons all combined together to create Bruticus, which is what this guy is. He's super dumb. He's basically I think the way it works is each part of, in lore anyway, each part of Bruticus is like hidden in like each of their sparks, and then it's released in here or whatever it is. But this is the worst section in the whole game, because this lost me about 20 seconds here, so I calculated how much time I lost in the whole game, and I've lost about 3 minutes on this run, which would have taken me under 220, which means I would have broken a 10-second barrier, which would have been so cool. But this particular section here cost me about 30 seconds, because this one car decided to drive down there. And there's a lot of optimization that could be done with this guy. So, for example, and I don't know if you know this, but I found that by using the flamethrower, you are way slower when walking.
I disagree.
You reckon? I reckon you're way slower. One thing that we can definitely agree on there.
While walking, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, while walking, yeah.
Sure.
But what about the hits? So the hit is really cool. So if you shield with Vortex's rotor blades, at exactly the same time as you make a hit, you'll cancel the rest of the animation and can walk straight away.
Yeah.
So there's little things like that save you time. So if you, I think I'll do it in a minute, if you press the B button in my case and you make a hit and then shield straight away, you can get the hit off without having to go through basically 2/3 of the animation. There you go, see?
Yeah. Part of the problem with the reason why I have to flamethrower is because of the controls. Again, I never realized how much of a difference it made until like somebody was like, "Hey, I play this on controller," because I don't think anybody else does that. I mean,
Nobody else plays on controller but me. I've checked. I've looked, and I
some of my older obsolete runs are on Xbox, which is why. But no one has ever ran like on PC but uses a controller.
I sat there and I said to myself, how much time am I going to lose by the bottom of my mouse giving out? Or whatever, and I came to me and I was like, I would probably be faster by a minute overall if everything went my way, but it doesn't. This game, there will be something that goes wrong every time. Here's a great example. This is the worst room in the entire game, because sometimes you'll send out Laserbeak and he just won't fetch the gun you need.
Yeah.
Or and at this point you're an hour and a half in, so it's not good, and sometimes you'll throw Rumble out and he'll just disappear and not fetch Megatron's head. Like, I've had that happen 1,000 times before. Which sucks. Man. And the developers, I'm convinced they knew this, because you get a checkpoint after each section of this bit is done. So like, you put his arms on, you get a checkpoint, or just before you release Laserbeak, you get a checkpoint. Like, just before you release Rumble, you get a checkpoint. Like, they knew that this room was dodgy. So yeah, there's Soundwave. Soundwave looks so much cooler, I swear. From the back, anyway, he looks way cooler in this than in War of Cybertron. With the glowy,
100%.
The glowy.
But it's like the same guy. That's the thing. It's like his design is like the same. But it's like so cool. It's like so much more refined. Like, the lighting in this game is so good.
Yeah,
I think that's the biggest improvement.
It's the light. It's the lighting and the colors. The colors are way better.
Look at how much cooler Megatron looks because of the lights and the purple effects and the red. Oh, man.
It's the color that's doing it.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah,
color and the lighting.
Absolutely. And there we go. It's time for Megatron. Okay, so you're going to find this obviously quite interesting. And obviously we have to talk about the icon. Transformers Prime Soundwave. Has one line in the entire show. It's not even his own line. Megatron is the one who actually says it, and it's recorded from Megatron. And it is, of course, the classic line. So, Soundwave, superior. Autobots, inferior. Amazing line.
I love that.
Absolutely great.
Yeah, I love Soundwave.
Soundwave is great.
Fun fact. I have a turtle, and I named it after Soundwave.
Oh, dear. That's pretty cool, actually. I like that. That's a good fact. That's a good fact. My rabbit's named after Ricky Gervais, so, you know. Yeah. And his name isn't Ricky, it's Derek. So is this from the show, Derek? From the show, Derek.
It's a big bunny.
The voice, we don't see enough of Megatron in this game because his is the best voice of Megatron. I'm sorry to the original voice actor who does sound amazing, but this is Megatron's best voice.
No,
100%.
this guy is a legend.
Yeah, this isn't Frank Welker, I think, who originally voiced Megatron, and he voices him in Transformers Prime, which is also probably his second best iteration. But this voice for Megatron is legit. I can't remember if it was this one or one of the other checkpoint skips I found out earlier. I think I told you in DMs, but basically, I didn't watch anybody else's run until about 2 or 3 weeks into like running this game, and then I think it might have been this section. Yeah, it was this section here where you had discovered it or somebody had discovered it, but I had also discovered it myself because I had realized that there were checkpoint skips halfway through the game from the blast off swindle level. And so then at every single checkpoint, and in the entire game, I did a run where I restarted checkpoint at every single checkpoint, and I found this. Do you want to explain what happens here? Because you skip a good 40 seconds.
Yeah, basically the enemies just like spawn in quicker. It's like normally there's like a whole like dialogue and all that kind of crap.
Yeah, mini cutscene with Starscream. Yeah. But yeah, that cuts like what, 35 seconds? I think something.
I would reckon, yeah.
Yeah, something about that. Okay, so I don't know where you are. What am I doing on your screen? Because we might have gone out of sync a little bit here. What am I doing right now? Or what's the timer on?
Ooh, the timer is at 1:25:39:40.
Oh, perfect. So we're still exactly in sync. Great news.
Yep.
So do you want to talk about a little bit about this area? This is the Pits of Kaon for anybody.
Oh, dude. Know. This is just an annoying part of the run, to be honest, because it's just there's so many people and so many. Yeah, I really. You mentioned this earlier. I sort of forgot about it until we just got to this, but I want to know how you deal with the leapers.
Do you know how I deal with the leapers?
Just fucking shoot them.
I allow my transformations to do the reloads. That's all I'll say. Here's a cool one though. Look at this. Boom, 2 with 1.
Yeah.
I love that.
I've noticed that was like one of the things I didn't realize, and then I started speedrunning this level a lot, and I was like, those guys are always running into each other.
Yeah.
If you shoot them immediately, then it's like boom.
Yeah. So you get rid of 2 with 1. So here we go. Leaper time.
Here we go.
Let's see what you think.
Okay, that's actually a really good idea to like be back there. Okay, yeah. Yeah, this would definitely probably have the world record level-wise.
And there we go.
I guess I never made the correlation that they always spawned up front.
Yeah, always. They spawn in the same place every single time.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm using the right cannon isn't missed on either, because if you time your shots, the last shot, obviously, as you know, does double damage. You can actually, the blast radius is bigger, so you can hit 2 of them at the same time, which is what I did there. So
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And then the rest of this level is, why didn't you tell, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh.
Nothing. There's nothing. There is no level.
I really wish that there was some skip or something. So this is like hey, you need a drink? Get a drink right now, because it's just like 30 seconds of.
You can't even get a drink because there's not enough time to go and get a drink. And then by the time you go and speak to Shockwave, that's not enough time to go and get a drink.
You have to like be prepared to run this game. There is no breaks, but there's like a couple of points where you can like get a glass of water and like take a sip or whatever.
You can't. There isn't enough time. There isn't enough time to go to the loo, which is why.
No.
which is really bad for me at the moment because I'm having a bit of kidney problems at the moment, so I need to go to the loo a lot. Yeah. So I need to go to the loo a lot. And yeah, I ended up, I'm not going to lie to you, I did one day end up peeing in a bottle because I was on world record pace. It wasn't in this run. It wasn't.
You gotta put that in the notes when you submit this. It's like, I pissed for this run in a bottle.
I pissed at my desk for this run.
Dedication. You see, that's what makes this really frustrating, is because it's just long enough that it's like you're discouraged from doing like back-to-back like full game runs.
Yeah.
So it's like you could do like 1 a day and you're just burnt out. If it was like an hour and a half, you might be able to do multiple.
If it was under 2 hours,
it's just
you could probably do 2 runs.
Slightly too long.
Yeah. And this is now my new favorite speedrun level. So
Oh no,
I
hate
love
this
this.
level.
I love this level only because it's so technical. That every little bit of your skill is tested in this level. So
I mean,
this is my second most practice level, and
I've never thought about like what my favorite speedrunning level is. That's actually a good question.
I think you're gonna love the bit where we get to the Combaticons section, because I worked out how all the spawns work. I worked out when to do it. It's just really smooth. I think you'll really like it, which is cool. But yeah, all of these, I've just skipped past like 25 enemies. Like this. There's
a lot of enemy skipping in this one.
Yeah, there is. But my favorite bit is probably this bit here. You get that little sneak in, get rid of the big gun turret. Feels good. I actually wasted a little bit of time here just trying to kill that one guy because he annoys me later on. He always hits me. And I messed up here as well. Normally I get the shotgunner and the assault rifle guy at the same time. But we do, unfortunately...
See, normally I save like a ground pound too. I can just kill everyone in that room instantly and just keep walking.
We do, unfortunately, miss the greatest line in the whole game. Which is, no mercy, Rumble!
Yeah.
And you just see Rumble smacking some dude. So here we go. This is my favorite bit. I love this, like, middle section. It's so good. So much fun.
The thing with Megatron is that you could just sort of just like plow through everything.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got like the power, and he's got the riot cannon by default. So it's like you could just blast through everybody.
Here we go. So this is it here. So this is my my magnum opus right here, and a potential glitch skip. I always manage to kill that guy at the same time as I managed to kill the other one. I always kill these two at exactly the same time. And then the last one, unfortunately, did get away from me a little bit here. But,
oh, this is so much better, though, than, like, probably what I did.
So if you stop here and transform as Bruticus falls down, you can literally get launched in the air, like, super high. I'm talking, like, out of map. And there will be an angle you can do it, and I haven't tested it yet, where you'll be able to skip basically the rest of the level. 100%. I just don't.
You know, I'm wondering if that was maybe the skip that they were talking about in the Discord, because it was like something like that was like weird. Let me go back up. And I'm checking the Discord right now. Well, this is.
I don't even know that there was a Discord. You'll have to invite me to it.
Yeah, Transformers speedruns. There's not a lot of people in here, and a lot of the conversations are not about this game.
Does that mean I'm gonna have the biggest channel in the Discord?
Oh, by far. I mean, I probably had the second biggest. 300 subscribers, yeah.
Oh, dear.
It's really funny. My most popular video is like the dumbest meme that I made for the Transformers Discord. It's like purposely bad.
Oh, here we go. This bit here. This bit is so fun.
This is satisfying.
Yeah,
this is really satisfying.
If you get this bit right, and I used to run this with the intercooler, until I realized that if you just press A, then you don't actually use all the bits, so you don't need the intercooler.
Game changer.
Yeah, exactly.
Game changer.
Boom.
It's like the smallest little thing. But also, if you get it wrong, super frustrating.
Yeah, if you get this bit wrong, you press the wrong button and you slam as Megatron or whatever, then you lose like 5 to 10 seconds in this bit. And then Megatron just shows up to Optimus Prime and is like, "Yeah, I'm the G." I think I mess up here as well. I don't think I get the full gap all the way across. I think I messed up. Yeah, I did. Here you go. Look, I've probably lost 10 seconds here.
That's the problem. Is like his little hover ability is like really finicky with like where it wants to like.
Yeah, throw
hover over.
Oh,
like
health moment.
It's like
health moment.
Yeah.
Guess the health. Guess the health.
Oh, it was low. Oh, I saw 8.
And that's why you always carry a health thing as Megatron in this level, because there's a lot of enemies very close together, specifically so that you can get the achievement for him ground pounding.
Yeah, but like I don't know, it's like they didn't. It's like where the hover is actually like basing. You know, if like it's like Minecraft. Okay, like the easiest example. It's like if you're on like level 0 and you could hover 10 blocks, it's like okay, you're gonna hover on like level 10, right? This is like there is like no like minimum level sometimes, and it just like makes it just like fall down. It's like really weird. This section is also, I was like really curious to know how you approach this.
Oh, this is probably the most practiced section for the second half of the run, easily. So if you clue them together, you can actually kill those two groups in 2 shots, and then I hover all the way across to get these guys there like that. So yeah, this became, it's just practice for this bit. Like, learning where they go. But
I also want to know how you approach freeing Trypticon's legs.
Oh, that's
because
okay.
Those are really kind of annoying.
How do you do yours? I mess up here as well. This was not my smoothest
I'm gonna
bit.
be straight up honest with you. I just kind of just go straight for it. I don't even really put much thought into it. I think I take the right side first, and then I do the left side, and I try to do all the high ones on one side.
Nah, that's a really inefficient way of doing it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that. Yeah, this guy I mess up. Normally, I get this guy so quick. I've already killed him. I'm in the lift, and Megatron is saying, so am I. I'm already down the lift at this stage.
Yeah.
Soundwave is it's very formidable, and Megatron's so am I. I'm already at the bottom of the lift. So yeah, that was, I don't know what happened there, but I messed up. But yeah, Trypticon's coming up, so take your bets. What do you think I do? I do it's a really efficient way of doing it. He's probably the most efficient way of doing it.
I don't know. I've never thought about it. That's the thing is I don't know. This is one of those really frustrating levels to practice because, and also here's the other frustrating thing about this game. There's just enough things that you have to remember that you can't memorize them. It's just little things. Okay. I honestly don't remember how I approached this level. I remember that there was one guy.
So by doing this,
let me see.
So by doing,
let me see if you do the one glitch.
Oh, what's the glitch? I didn't even know there was a glitch. So probably not. Are you talking about the getting into the next room glitch?
Yeah.
I don't know how to do it. So no, I didn't do it.
So you can hover up on his leg, and then you can basically hover across, so you don't have to go all the way around, and then you end up on that platform that you're basically looking at.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever ran it like this, because it's kind of finicky, but yeah, the level world record, you're already over here by the time that you can just immediately just hover over here.
So what?
And then you can just slam down.
That would probably
and just mow down all those people.
That would probably save about 15 to 20 seconds. But I made mistakes not watching the bloody cutscene in this level. That's lost me 25
I don't know if
seconds.
It'd be 20 seconds. It'd be maybe 10 to 15. It's but especially for a level run. So here's the frustrating thing: the levels super optimized. If you're level running, it is so incredibly hard to get a world record because people have figured out how to do it. But the full game
doing
is
it back to back to back is so hard.
Yes.
Yeah. It's way different. You have no redos. You have no redos with this. I was gonna wonder what you were gonna ask me about when it came to the final bit, because you just go to tank mode, right?
Yeah. This next part.
I don't do that.
I just basically sit as a tank and just blow everybody up. Because the tank also, that tank cannon has a little bit of splash damage as well.
Oh yeah,
so you can be a little bit less precise and just sort of just start blasting people.
Yeah. This
is another one of those levels where it's the enemies can just run off and just really make you mad because especially these snipers.
Yeah, so that was another reason why I couldn't be in tank mode, because the reload time was too long. So and again, because I'm slightly less accurate with the controller, it forced me to think a little bit differently about how I do this end bit. So I hang to the side is what I do, unless I need to reload, in which case I do transform.
That is the one advantage of mouse and keyboard, is how quickly you can move the tank cannon, because on controller it feels like it's just feels like you're moving
a tank.
A really heavy object. You are pushing a tank to move left or right. And on a mouse you can just boom, boom. So that's, I don't know. It's probably about the same, it's a similar time probably. But I just found that with the splash damage from the tank, it's just you can kill a group of 3 or 4 or 5 if they just decide to stack up. And they usually do right around where you're standing. So usually I'm just a little bit back and just blasting them, or up on that platform where they tend to jump down.
So my technique was I wanted to kill stuff before it jumped down. So what I started doing was jumping on. I started by jumping out on boxes and actually shooting them as they would spawn through the door. Because sometimes, and you wouldn't know this unless you're doing it. Sometimes they get stuck up in that little area where they spawn, and they don't move. They just stay there. And here's the other thing: having that little droid around, if the snipers get shot at all, any sort of damage in the air while they're flying, they will immediately fall down. And die. So having the little drone around basically is like a lifesaver. It stops the drones from, it stops the sniper drones basically from being able to like get behind you and then go out of sight. So that's why another reason why I stay in this robot form is because they're all concentrated on me in robot form instead of the drone. The drone lasts the entire time.
Yeah, this is like another like really high energy part of the run.
Yeah.
And especially with like Starscream, it's so fast.
Yeah, Starscream.
Except for like the beginning part.
Yeah, the beginning part, well, I'll tell you about a little glitch I had at the beginning part in my previous one that nearly got the record, where I was on super pace here. And when he went underground and he's like, shine your light because my optics are fuzzy, nothing, the computer wouldn't come out. The computer just stayed there and it wouldn't open the door. So I was just stuck and I had to redo this bit. I lost probably 30 seconds, 40 seconds here in my other run. Not in this run. This run, it works out fine. But yeah, you do that, he'd stand there, I'd stand here, and the thing just doesn't come out. He just stands there the entire time, doesn't open it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this isn't good. And there's Starscream. Look at him. I'd love to know what this robot turns into. Like, there's no wheels on him. Clearly not a flyer. Like,
yeah, it's really interesting to think about.
Like, what does he turn into?
He's got like little like wings or something.
He's got wings, but they're not like the wings that the rest of the flyers have.
Yeah.
Maybe like a Constructicon or something. Who knows? And then we get to play as Steve Blum. Again. In his best, I will say, this is his best Starscream voice, though. Like the one he does in Transformers Prime is nowhere near as good as this one. This is his best Starscream voice.
See, I don't know. The voice acting in this game was amazing because I feel like, especially like Megatron, it really captures just like how like undeniably like evil he is.
Yeah.
Like he's always got that just like, you know, grit to him. He's just like, I am just going to destroy everything and everyone, and I will stop at nothing to do it. And Starscream, it captures just like how
his cunningness.
Like, yes, just like this, like.
Here we go. High energy time.
Oh man.
Again.
It feels like you get like it's like you drank like a whole energy drink like right before you start all this crap.
Yep.
It really feels like it. And then there's like an immediate crash. You just like, oh, it's so agonizingly slow.
So most people on my channel probably won't watch, like won't know really what the next half of this level is. But you don't play this whole level as Starscream, unfortunately.
You play like very little actually as Starscream.
If you played it as the game intended, you would probably spend
a lot slower.
You'd probably spend 10 minutes as Starscream, and then 10 minutes as our good buddy Grimlock, but in the speedrun, you spend 10 minutes as Grimlock and maybe 2 minutes as Starscream.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing I really did different to how most people do this bit, because I watched a few runs on this to sort of get the feel for it, is that I do use the invisibility quite a bit, just because I was having some issues with getting, when everybody realizes you're there and they're reacting like, when you're flying inside each of those domes, they push you into the ceiling.
That is how I 100% do it, because, if you can't, it's like a weird thing where, like, it won't let you, like,
fly out.
Activate the bomb if you are, like, being, like, currently attacked or something like that.
Alright, here we go. So, this is where, unfortunately, I do have to reload a checkpoint, because the game glitches, unfortunately. And
I wonder how much time...
I timed it. It's 23 seconds I lost.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's not good. Not good. So
It's
here we
been
go.
a lot worse, though. There's some checkpoints in
Here
this
we
game
go.
that are really...
Right here. So yeah.
I've never seen that one. That's interesting.
So I missed the loading zone for Shockwave and the Insecticons to come in.
Wow.
So my pro tip for this section of the game is to transform.
Reload.
No, not reload.
Oh.
Transform as you once you've I'll show you in a second, but once you've hit that red destructible barrier, transform and fall down.
Yeah, I've tend to do that because I feel like you fall faster. And it's like harder to like move my mouse down to like.
I reckon you probably are faster, but you're saving like tenths of seconds as being like it, and it's not worth missing the loading zone for. And
I love that. I love that. Favorite.
Yeah, that was something I discovered when I was like, I can't see where they are. They were right beneath me, and I just pressed the button. I was like, whoa! And here we go. This is the last bit you get to see of Starscream in the run. We never find out what happened to him, unfortunately, because Activision decided to disband High Moon after Deadpool for some stupid reason, even though the game was actually moderately successful anyway. But there we go. So yeah. There's
like a really fun glitch. I wonder if it happens for you, where if you like
you spam
the
it.
button,
I've had it happen loads of times.
and
I don't think it
like
happens.
the little symbol just like sits there.
Yeah, I don't think it happens in this run, but I've done it loads of times. Yeah, if you spam X or whatever the equivalent is of X on the mouse and keyboard, then the Decepticon logo
F.
just stays there the whole time.
It's really interesting to know that's how they made the game. Is like instead of it being a thing, they just like rendered like a floating thing on the game.
Yeah, so there it is. That's
like an actual object.
Yeah, there it's there.
Yeah,
I did
there.
it. Yeah, there we go.
It's really funny because you can break this game in a lot of ways, but like none of them are like significant. It's just like tiny little things like that. It's just like a floating symbol.
But what I've learned from watching Boundary Break, it was a YouTube channel. I don't know if anybody's heard of that in the comment section. Let me know, or if you've heard of it. But they basically they get a guy and they program like free cam into games, and they look at like what's going on outside levels as stuff is happening.
Oh yeah.
And this kind of stuff is in every single game. Like anytime you see
super interesting.
Yeah, every time you see anything like that, it's all good. And now, I can't be. You tell them about the Grimlock level. I don't want to. Yeah, everybody who runs this game.
Can we just like
must
edit
hate
this whole video and just put this on 10 times or something?
No,
like,
we can't do that. We can't do that. That's not fair. This is gonna be the one I submit for the record run.
If you are of legal drinking age, grab something, please.
Yeah,
save yourself some trouble. Like,
there's a couple of interesting things I do to talk about it, but as soon as the Grimlock level is over, everything gets way faster.
Okay, as a gameplay perspective, probably my favorite level. Just
as a story
I love
thing,
Grimlock.
Yeah. We all love Grimlock.
Super. It's like in like the whole time, like Optimus is like, "Where's Grimlock?" It's like Grimlock is dead. It's like, okay,
he's dead. He's captured. He's gone missing. What's happened to him?
Play as him. So fun to play. But speedrunning, it is so just agonizingly slow, and there's very little you can do. I mean, it's so...
There is one optimization...
It's like mostly very straightforward, mostly, yeah.
There's one optimization I think that I've made that I've only seen your runs, really, but I don't think anybody else would have thought of, which is...
I'm definitely the most, like, prevalent runner. There's, like, some people like Mango who did a bunch of, like, levels. There was another guy... What was his name? Let me look it up quick.
Also,
he did a couple of full game runs.
Best Shockwave design. Love the way he's designed. Wrong voice actor.
Yeah.
It's just Steve Blum again, but yeah. Look at his design. So good. Oh.
I think this guy's actually changed his name. Originally it was Drake Shadow. I think now it's Chloe Shadow. Oh, my apologies. It's a she, her. But, okay, so anyways. She did a bunch of, like, full game runs and, like, actually beat me, like, twice. And, I don't know. It was, like, made me, like, get back into it. But, like, I haven't had a reason to run this game in a very long time. That's kind of the problem.
Until now.
Until now, yes.
To be fair, if you manage to get your run as good as you did, and then basically add the vortex skip in, you'd be at exactly the same time as me. So 100% you'll be able to beat me.
I'd be really curious to know if I took my run and then did like the world record for that what it actually come out to.
Oh,
Probably be
it's basically 5 minutes 30. So just take your time, just 27, and then take away 5 minutes 30. Pretty much. It's 5:20 to be fair. Right?
yeah.
Because I sat there and I was like, is this actually going to save enough time, and is it too risky to pull it? But no, you need to do it every
It's
time.
not even close.
Yeah, it's not even close. I did all the
And
calculations.
that's like the problem. It's sort of sad to say, but it's like there's like really no motivation for me to like go back and rerun this entire game just to do that one skip when, I mean, there wasn't really any sort of contention. Because, I mean, there's okay, so this guy, there's a guy called Bread In that he's done a couple levels. He owns like the level 1 record and a couple other ones, but he did a full game 3 months ago and he got a 231. But before him, the closest one was a guy called Simeon who got a 240. So besides Bredin, who 3 months ago didn't run this game, I was 13 minutes ahead of everybody else. So it's like, do I really need to go back and save like another 4 to 5? No? Okay.
Nah, man.
Now I do.
Nah, you do. Let mine get. Listen, just let mine get officialized first, and then you can be mine. That's so because it'll take 3 weeks to get seen to and moderated. So.
I mean, I'm watching it right now. I'm a moderator, so.
No.
Hey, this is my official watching this verification.
No, there's nothing suspicious other than the fact that I used a controller. But that was a really logical, like, reason.
It's an interesting decision. I don't know, even like with all the empirical evidence saying that, like, hey, this is probably more consistent. I don't know. I feel like
I'm not saying it's faster. It's not faster.
Yeah, I don't know.
But it is more
I don't
consistent.
know which one is better. Like, it depends. It's like there's pros and cons to each.
If I was playing multiplayer, 150,000%, I would be playing on mouse and keyboard. Like, there's no.
That's the problem. I disagree with you. I don't even play on controller.
What's wrong with you?
Because
What's wrong with you?
that's the funny thing. It's like I would speedrun using mouse and keyboard, but I would play multiplayer using controller.
You're backwards. There's no. Everybody in the comment section is like, the 10 people in the comment section right now who've made it this far is saying, who the fuck is this dude and what is he sniffing? Like,
but like, look at like, I don't know. It's like this game plays really weird on controller.
It doesn't play
not like any.
No, it doesn't play like anything else. There's that.
If you have not played this game and you're like, oh yeah, like it's like you have to play this.
It's a great game. Don't get me wrong. This is
amazing.
This is a fun. Here's Hardshell. You don't get to see his transformed version, unfortunately, in the campaign. But in multiplayer, it's the dirtiest.
You have to throw up like a little like screen cap of like what he actually looks like. It's super cool.
I'll put it at the end of the video. At the very end of the video, if you watch all the way to the end of the video, I'll find some footage of Hardshell running in multiplayer. It is
apparently there's like a way that you can like crack the game to like make it run on like community servers and play multiplayer.
You can.
I don't know.
Yeah. Transformers Energon.
I've never done that.
Re-energize. Oh, I thought you would have done. It's called Re-energize.
No.
I haven't done it yet, but I will do it.
No,
I
never
think.
done it.
It's gonna be cool. I'm in the Discord for it. I just haven't like learned how to do it yet because I was busy speedrunning the game. But yeah, this section this can kill you pretty quick if you don't move.
Dude, this on hard. I don't know how many times I died. It's probably like 10 in my like
This
the
is
longest.
this is probably on hard. I would imagine you'd be better off playing like not playing as you do here, but like literally hiding in a corner, throwing like
you literally have to do that. Yes.
Like actually throwing, not even throwing like you'd have to throw enemies. I think you'd have to throw the enemies at him, not the barrels.
I throw anything that I can grab.
Yeah.
It is so difficult. Dude, that gun that he shoots is so unrelenting in hard mode. It is so unbelievable.
Also, like, this is just such a pointless extension of the game, this section here. This is, like, these shields going up is just padding. It's so annoying.
It like makes his level like another minute slow just for no reason.
Yeah, for no reason.
Because this level is already like. Let me look at
This
the
is still
actual.
this is still the Starscream level, by the way.
Yeah,
this
that's the
is,
problem. I like in my brain combine these two. Like the Starscream level is like 2 minutes, and then
let me tell you,
Grimlock is like.
Let me tell you, if you separate it out as I have into the actual chapters, it makes it so much more bearable, knowing that this is the end of this level here, and you can just put a little timestamp in there. But there you go.
So
I somehow saved a minute. That was all
Yeah.
down to the Grimlock section and the randomness of the enemies. Because the Starscream bit, I lost 20 seconds.
Yeah, so the Starscream level, Starscream's Betrayal, I hold that world record currently. It's 13 minutes and 22 seconds.
Yeah, 3 of minutes is
The
Starscream.
Grimlock's, yeah, the Grimlock Smash that we're on right now. I've never even gotten close to this. He's got, Mango has an 18. I think my best was like a 19 or a 20. I've never even gotten close to that.
An 18, so, well, let's have a look. So what's the difference between my sum of bests there? It's 9 minutes. Well, look at it. Is that 9 minutes? No, that's the end of that chapter. So it's 53 there. So 153. So yeah, it's 20 minutes exactly, pretty much. Takes me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did it because I've watched it like 3 or 4 times and he doesn't do anything special. It wasn't like he found like a major thing. It was like he just, I don't know. I don't know if it's like RNG or what.
I'll tell you where the time save probably is, because my least favorite bit is here. But how do you deal with these bugs? They're on the floor here.
I grab them and throw them back at each other.
Yeah.
I think it's the most efficient way to do it.
100%. I came to that conclusion as well. I didn't see you do that, but then I watched your hard run, so it might have been slightly different. But
yeah, I learned. My hard run is like, well, the only one that I've commentated, but I think that's like the most recent time I've ran the full game. So that's like the most like accurate to like what it currently is.
But yeah, I know in that obviously in the hard run it's a lot more different to how you play easy. I'd like to do a medium run. I reckon a medium run. I haven't done one yet, but a medium run would be quite an interesting way of.
It's kind of annoying because you have to play it pretty close to a hard run. You really do.
But there, yeah, it'll be knowing when you want to play it towards a hard run or when you want to play it towards an easy run. Like in an easy run, like in that Megatron section, you could probably run through it on medium. You probably couldn't run through it on hard. But then later on, when you're fighting everything, like this guy here. So I'm interested to know, how do you deal with kickback once you've transformed into Dino mode?
Into Dino mode. Oh, at the very end.
Yeah. So this guy's pretty easy. I worked out pretty early on that you basically just want to put the shortest amount of distance that he can charge. So you get as close as you can to the wall, jump out of the way, hit him, then go to the platform to where kickback is. Let him charge.
This is like
there.
another one of those things where it's really unnatural on keyboard because the dash is like shift. And so I play, this is also probably going to trigger people. So normally people who play on keyboard, they use their middle finger as the W, right? And then their index is D, and then the ring finger is A.
Yep.
I don't. My index finger is W.
What's wrong with you? What? When did you buy? Okay, here we go. We'll get back to your questionable playing of PC in a minute. But so, do you stay in Dino mode or do you transform straight back? 'Cause I transform straight back.
I stay for a very brief time, maybe. I don't know.
So
I've thought about this a lot. The thing is like I never want to get screwed where I need to transform and I don't have enough rage points. That's 100%. Like the problem.
So to me, there's only I think 3 places where I need to transform into Dinobot, and what I do to get rid of this guy is in the next section where you basically are halfway through the level but you think you're going to finish it. Is I transform into Grimlock to take him down. Because he's got a one-hit kill for that guy, which is...
So I stay as Dinobot, or maybe I transform right away and then transform back to kill that guy. But basically there's like a glitch where if you're in Dino mode and you execute somebody, as soon as you grab a hold of them, you can transform back. You don't have to watch the animation. It's like a tiny little... It's just like a second, 2. But especially for the those big guys, I mean, it does save some amount of time. And they just disappear completely.
Yeah, so I wondered what had happened there, but I discovered that, but I didn't really put two and two together, because I don't transform into Grimlock. I think I only transformed into Grimlock, like, Dino mode twice after this. So...
Yeah, I try to stay out of it. There's no real advantage except for
the insta-kill. For the big guy. Like... But there's also a bit, which I found out, like, later on, where I swear you can't progress unless you're in Dino form. Which is, no, it's not a lie, maybe I transformed 3 times, but there's a bit where you're with, Snarl, or Slug, I can't remember, it's the Triceratops, Slug, where you're with Slug, and, he's, like, running up and down, like, this random bridge, and I found that if you transform into Dinobot, like, less enemies tend to spawn, so...
Yeah, so I think you have to transform there, it, like, kind of soft locks the game.
Yeah, that's what I found as well.
And I don't know, it's really weird because I don't say anything about it, but yeah, like soft locks if you don't.
Yeah, until you transform and then get rid of one of the waves as a Dinobot, like, it won't let you progress, which is really weird, but I just don't know when the best point is to transform, so I kind of, because you only want to transform once. You only want to have to transform once, because each transformation takes up time, and you are so less efficient at killing enemies as the Rage Form Dinobot. It looks cool. It is way cooler, but it is way slower.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss here, yeah. I always try and get the first one, it's so difficult.
Oh man, this one is...
Yeah, I'll get it a second time. So yeah, this section here, if you don't transform into Dinobot, about halfway through, it won't let you progress. It's so weird. And also, I hate these guys, so yeah.
I hate the spitters.
The best
Easily the most annoying enemy in the game.
The best way of dealing with them, I found, is just to grab them out of the air. Like, that is...
Yep. Genuinely, or to, like, throw... You grab one, throw them at each other, that's really fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a little bit of revenge for them being so annoying. It's like, I'm gonna kill you with another one of you.
Yeah. I find it's actually easier to hit them with one of their own, because it tends to, I swear, like, auto-aims way easier than using these explosive barrels. But yeah, I absolutely hate this section. This is probably where the time save for the other guy just must have got this, like, super right.
I've tried really hard, but I couldn't do it. I don't really want to run this level as well. Like, it's like I have, like, some pull to do all of it.
This is my least practice level.
This is the one horrible. That I do not care about at all.
But it's probably the most essential one, because it's where you will...
That's the thing.
It's where you will save the most time, probably, if you practice it. And it's the same with me, man. I can't practice this level. I can't. It's the only one I haven't practiced.
It's unbearable.
It is.
Well, I mean, put it like this, right? You're spending... So, the world record, so including the 2 minutes this guy has over us, he's got, between the two levels, it would be 31 minutes between the beginning of Starscream and the beginning of the last level.
Yeah, chapter 12.
So, approximately 28 minutes of playing as Grimlock.
Is just... I would like to point out that even though he's got more moves, he's way more restricted in his movement. So, so that's why it's just so hard to play. And the other thing is his level shuts you out of areas way, way worse than other levels. Like that Swindle level where you transform into Bruticus is so fun because there's no barrier until you get to the turret section, basically. Like, you can go through pretty much the entire thing without stopping. It's really, really fun. This section, like I said, I don't know when you can transform back into... I need to practice it to work it out, but I don't know when you can transform back into normal Grimlock, and you've gone past the checkpoint that says it's not going to softlock you until you transform. Which is why you see me throw the barrel at these transforming things, just in case I haven't got to it yet. But the moment he starts saying, like, Brilliant Bologna and Cesium Salami, which I also find hilarious that these Transformers apparently know what salami is because they have to eat, but they don't have mouths, but yeah, whatever. It's not a good section. After this, it's fairly straightforward. But it just, this is the only level I haven't practiced. I've practiced Starscream's level plenty, but then, like, this is just, it's not a fun level. but it's really fun to play casually.
Shit. Yeah, this is just such an amazing game.
It is. It is an amazing game.
It's really sad that like none of the other games ever came close.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there is a new Transformers game on the way at some point, and I might run that. But
yeah, I saw that. I was like, don't tempt me. Please don't be good, because I cannot spend another 10,000 hours playing that game.
The thing is,
I don't know if it will be, though. I don't know.
The publisher who is behind it. So here's another point where you have to change into Grimlock as well.
Yes.
Which is really
You have
dumb.
to destroy those like battery things with the Dinobot.
Yeah, which really...
Dinosaur mode.
Which really sucks. And I thought of a way of saving 30 seconds, and then I did test it out. So I guess I have practiced this once. But in the next section, when you get to here, I was thinking, like, you're restricted from transforming into Dinobot when they're torturing Snarl for, like, a good, like, 30 seconds. You're not allowed to change.
Yeah.
But it will actually lock you out before then as well. So you can't even, like, just be transformed while they're torturing Snarl. You actually still have to wait for it to happen. It's so annoying. But yeah, again, just throw bugs at other bugs.
That's the other thing about this level and all the Grimlock levels is it's so repetitive.
Yeah.
I mean,
speedrunning it is repetitive because you have to. Because if you do it casually, you'd be using your sword, you'd be transforming into Grimlock Dino mode, you'd be doing the one-hit kill stuff. But to speedrun it, you are just grabbing enemy and throwing it into other enemy the entire time
for 28 whole minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Or dashing.
And
forwards.
For us, it's 30 minutes because you said yourself, it's like we didn't even get close to that. Yeah. I don't know how that guy did it.
Yeah. Well,
it's really strange because, and this is like the other thing is like we've as a community tried to figure out if there's any differences between like console or like, you know, regional differences, and we haven't seen anything, but I do know that guy plays on PS3, and I don't know if there's any difference that makes it like inherently faster or not. I don't think so.
If you're playing on console, then it should be RTA no matter what. There shouldn't be a
theoretically
LTA. I don't know if there is or isn't. I don't know how it works, but you should never have you should always be real-time attack because well, I guess you could mod the PS3 and put an SSD in it maybe, but you'd be able to tell that pretty quickly by like watching the footage.
Yeah.
But it should always be RTA for consoles.
I was the one that argued for the frame-to-frame method because I was originally playing this on console, and I knew that there was more loading than there was that was calculated for. So yeah, basically the way this is timed is like you take the first frame of gameplay in each level, and the first frame of the loading screen is when you pause.
Wait. So you don't count like the cutscene at all?
No, that counts.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say because
yeah,
otherwise
no. So like
I might be under two. I've got more time I can shave off.
I got you really excited there for a second.
Yeah. Because I could save off 25 seconds and that cutscene I forgot to skip.
No, sadly that counts because you can skip it.
Yeah.
And everyone has like the same ability to skip. But it's like level 1, for example, it's like you have like the blue loading screen, and as soon as you see like the ships like flying or whatever, like the first like black frame where it's like you can't even see anything, that counts. Like that is the first second that you have nothing, like there's no blue screen, that's when it counts.
Damn.
And then it's like the first frame at the end of the game where basically your HUD disappears. Then that's like, you know, because it's like last input.
Okay. So for me, I timed it, yeah, literally. Well, we'll see in a second. I might have to retime it. I might be a couple of seconds off. I don't think I am. I think I did do it correctly. But at the very end of this video, you'll see that I actually put all of the loading screens at the end of the video so that I can show people, like, that's the calculation that comes off the thing. To be honest, because this is on a RAID 0 SSD, I didn't even bother removing the orange load screens because it would save.
I was like, not even a second.
It would say
like,
it wouldn't. Dude, it's on a RAID 0 SSD thing. It's a gigabyte a second. Like they've got a gigabyte read and write speeds. Like
yeah,
it's mental. Also, really stupid part of the game. Really wish you could skip all of this.
Painfully slow. Oh my
Did you
gosh.
see how slow? Like, I get into position where I need to speak to Slug, and it's like 30 seconds. It's just there you go. There we are.
So, but again, for some context, you gotta understand. If we're running this it's like not 2 hours. It's like an hour and like 45 minutes of just straight
Action.
just like complete action, complete like. There is no slow points really up until now. Immediate just stop. Hard just like running into a brick wall of just pacing. And then all of a sudden, and you'll see it in about 3 minutes, 5 minutes. It's just
Yeah, the pace goes from like the slow as this has been to Starscream's pace again in immediately.
It is so chaotic because you're playing so many different characters. You don't really ever feel comfortable.
Well,
you never like really get into a rhythm. You're just like constantly boom, 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 boom. Like you play as what's his name?
you play as Soundwave, you play as Jetfire, then you
Jetfire. Yep, there. Thank you. You play as Jetfire for all of like
a minute.
30 seconds.
But that is probably the most RTA of the whole game.
I hate that part so much.
That part can basically get you a world record or not if you've got two people running it.
I have
very similar
speedrun
speeds.
the last level so many times. I think I've attempted that world record over any other one. And I've probably played it like 200 times individually. And I've been like literally down to less than a second. And it is simply because
Jetfire.
I couldn't find the stupid thing.
Everybody's wondering what we're on about. There is these cables that don't look too dissimilar to the cables you're seeing on screen right now. And you shoot the cable, but instead of blowing up as they do here, a little segment of them come off, and you need to find the weak link in the chain. And the developers, for some reason, decided to go, for this one level, we're going to randomize it every single time you play. So every single link in the chain can be randomized. There's no pattern to it whatsoever.
It's like super cool to like just on the story mode. It's like genuinely like you're like in the moment. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, like I gotta like detach and I don't know where it is. I have to just keep shooting until I find it. And then, but it's like speedrunning. It's like there's no predictability.
No.
And it's like so frustrating.
Yeah. This bit also sucks. And not this bit specifically, but the leapers.
Sadly,
suck.
I like the hard run. I was like, you die here pretty easily
Yeah, I guess you would.
because
That doesn't surprise me at all.
the issue is you don't have a lot of room to deal with these leapers. So
They can
lot
stun
of the
lock you
time-
as well. That's the worst
yes,
bit. Oh, I messed
And,
up
like, it
here. I
pushes-
forgot. I lost time here. So I throw this rock at this
Ooh.
leaper, hoping that it will be great, and he gets stuck up there. Just doesn't move. So
it's so weird.
So I lost, expecting it to be like, oh, that's going to do some damage to him. Great news. Maybe it destroyed him. The things will come up. Nope. He's just stuck up there. Won't come down. Just straight up won't come down. Yeah. So yeah, if you get hit by these guys from the front, you get stun locked immediately. There's like no way out.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room to dash. So especially when there's like 3 of them, it's like really difficult.
So yeah, here's another place where I lost probably 10 seconds, 15 seconds because of that. What just happened. Grabbing walls as well. Don't like to grab walls, but there we go. And here comes probably, if you're playing this casually, the coolest part of the game.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Finding out that you're the one who actually gets rid of Shockwave's arm. Which is very cool. For those of you who aren't into Transformers lore, Shockwave has always had a giant cannon on his hand, a bit like Megatron, except he hasn't even got a hand. And I don't think it's ever mentioned, really, how he lost it. But it's mentioned here.
That's just like one of the reasons why I wish that they would just do like a 2.5 hour Transformers movie that was just like literally Transformers Fall of Cybertron, because there's so much that they don't talk about. It's always
all
like
they needed to do was do the first 10 minutes of the Bumblebee film.
Dude,
But
I
for-
cannot tell you how hyped I was.
But for 2 hours.
Like, literally, just call it Transformers Fall of Cybertron and just do it like Bumblebee, but just 2 hours.
Or Megatron
No
Rising.
one cares.
Just do the IDW
literally.
comic of Megatron becoming Megatron. That's all you have
That's
to...
so... I mean, it's like, literally the lore of the game is like the Decepticons are like slaves, and like, it really helps understand like why they're so mad.
Yeah.
Like, it really puts things into context.
The
But,
Autobots are actually the bad guys.
Kind of, in a way.
Like, genuinely, in the comics, the IDW comics, Megatron, like, is all about... they're all miners, and they want to be free.
There's like so much more nuance and lore. It's like this game, like, it really helps get like more to the roots of like why they're so mad.
All right, here we go. Last
and then
level.
Immediately, like just like crack cocaine time.
Yeah,
Here we go.
Exactly. Here we go. So this is the only level where we don't. I don't get anything. I don't change to the riot cannon because it is actually more beneficial to keep the ED Tech Vault.
I've tried so many times, but it's like that is genuinely the best because you can.
Everybody bunches close together, and so this is the best. And I've tested this weapon, which is probably the second best weapon in the game, other than the riot cannon and the glass cannon. And I've tested this weapon everywhere else in the game, and nowhere else is as good as it is in this tiny section of the level playing a Soundwave.
You have to have close proximity.
Yeah, forget the shotgun.
If you're in close proximity, this thing is amazing.
Yeah, forget the shotgun. This thing is BC. I wonder if it would
Although
work.
it eats through ammo real quick.
I wonder if this would work well for the end of Jazz's level with the bugs. I reckon. You know what? I reckon it might do. I might give that a go.
Well, so the problem with the Swarmers is that if you wouldn't shoot if you're being attacked, so you have to be able to.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
You have to like keep a distance, which is really hard with so many of those little guys.
Yeah, I reckon it would be faster though, with this thing.
If you could maintain a distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably, almost certifiably yes, because they don't have a lot of health, so they would just like boom, 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 boom. But it's trying to keep them away from you, so you could shoot this thing long enough that it would do enough damage.
I'm gonna go straight on to Jazz's level once you finish this commentary and just test that out, like straight away.
Just test it out.
Yeah. Also, very cool transformation. Love the fact that he kind of like shoulder barges, Soundwave kind of shoulder barges in his transformation. And we have been robbed that we don't get a full level in this game of Soundwave.
I love Soundwave so much.
Soundwave is so great. His voice.
He's easily my favorite Decepticon. There literally is like no other Decepticons that I like
in this game,
and it's really painful that like in the movies he's so bad.
Oh, in the games, I would say that he's probably him and Megatron in this game in particular is fantastic. They drop the ball a little bit with Shockwave. Shockwave is probably my favorite Decepticon traditionally. Just so awesome, especially Transformers Prime, man. Like Shockwave from Transformers Prime. Oh my god, what a legend! But there you go.
Yeah.
Like that section there, we managed to get rid of so many people so fast. Here, even though snipers come out, you don't need to worry about it. You can just press the button because the snipers take so long to aim. And then we get shotgunners. These guys can kill you. This is a really difficult bit of the level if you miss stuff.
They can kill you dead. This is like the most volatile.
Yeah.
This is like one of the hardest parts of the game.
Other than
it's so strange. Because there's not like a ton of people, but there's just so much
close
going on.
quarters, and they spawn like two shotgunners really close together. But yeah, I also lose a little bit of time
annoying.
here. I lose a little bit of time here because this guy randomly comes around the corner.
You do the pattern differently. I always do the middle one first, then the right, then the left.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't. It doesn't matter. I don't think it's whatever you're most comfortable with.
It doesn't matter, but I feel like it's easier to do the middle one if you can kill everybody, and then your little companion robots are like off dealing with other stuff.
The reason I always don't do the left until last though is because this is the area that spawns the most snipers. So if you do this one first, then you got the snipers hitting you for literally the rest of the time. So anyway, we're done with Soundwave. Now that's all you get to see of him, and now it's time for Jetfire, which also has a very cool
Here's our chain level that we're talking about.
Yeah.
RNG Jesus will either.
Yeah. As you can see.
You better been praying.
Yeah.
2.5 hours comes down to this.
Yeah.
I mean,
you could. Yeah. There you go. That's not a good spawn. That is not a good spawn.
It's not. It's not the worst, but that was very mid. If finding that one.
Yeah, this one also.
Oh, this one that was pretty mid.
That was all right. That's not too bad. But yeah, really.
Oh no,
yeah.
pain, mid pain.
There we go. So yeah, again, like if you get lucky there, this level can literally take 10 seconds. I kid you not.
Look, literally, like I've seen them literally, like they're in the exact same spot and it's just like lined up. I've sometimes, very rarely, you're shooting like the first chain and you'll hit, your bullet will just hit
the same
on the
one
second
behind
chain.
it. Yeah, I've seen that before
And
as well.
it's so, I really wish there was a way to just skip that part because I hate RNG, but
Yeah. But compared to other games, this RNG isn't so bad. It's more to do with AI RNG.
yeah.
And how like enemies will sometimes just randomly go places. This bit is horrible. I hate this as Bruticus. It really annoys me. If you don't do this bit.
The other annoying thing is like, you ever notice how like as Bruticus, when you ground pound, it's like slightly to the right of where you're actually.
Yeah, you never fire straight on.
So annoying.
Yeah. And here's a really cool bit. You play as Jazz again, which
It's like a really weird glitch on PC where if you, I don't know if this is a keyboard exclusive, but if you like boost too quick, you'll just go flying backwards.
I've never found that before.
Ooh, you should watch my runs. I'm pretty sure it's in there. It's like really you like jump up and then backwards. It's super weird. I've actually glitched through the floor as Jazz. Now, I wish I would have like played it out and see if I could do anything. It only happened once.
In the one level where
glitch.
it probably wouldn't actually be a benefit.
Yeah.
This is like,
Because like I don't know what triggers like in the game that you've defeated Bruticus. I don't know what that would be.
I think
I don't know.
The problem is that because the next level is a total load zone, and there is no load zone.
That's the problem.
I think,
it wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, I don't think it would actually do anything. I think the trigger is successful marking with the, well, I'll call it the Metroplex marking, but you know what I mean. You press.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a third time you do that is basically it. There's not a lot you can do here to speed this up, everybody watching at home, by the way. And I do get this run is really bad. Unfortunately, I have a really bad Optimus, but you'll see here some of best segments, 2 minutes, 21 seconds, 51, and there is definitely 2 minutes to save here. Like, there's 20 seconds, 25 seconds of Starscream glitch, there's 20 seconds of cutscene skip, pardon me. That's already 40 seconds. There's a couple of mistakes here and there that I made. There's the little 10-second skip that you could have done in the Megatron level, so sub 220 is definitely possible. You'd have to have a god tier run though, I think, with the strats that are here at the moment. You'd have to have no mistakes, no glitches.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
I don't know. Even then, it might. I don't know if you could do it right now.
I think I could.
You'd have to be really. Yeah, but RNG, you'd have to run this like 1,000 times. Interesting. Do you pick Optimus?
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, of course I do.
I do not.
Yo, you pick Megatron. Why? Optimus has the more annoying secondary attack, I find. So that's why I want to be him.
So here's the difference. When you're playing, for me at least, when you're playing as Optimus, Megatron's sort of thing is he transforms and just shoots you, and he's like in one spot, so you can't like really like do anything about it. Optimus like comes towards you, so you can basically just like avoid him by dodging, and then he's right on top of you, so you can immediately start attacking. Now, I don't know if it matters at all. I don't know. It could not. I think the world record for this level, he plays as Optimus. I genuinely don't think it matters, though.
So the reason I pick Optimus is mostly because Megatron has like a flashbang, and you can still attack through that flashbang.
Yeah.
So which is really nice. Like,
Yeah, see, like right here.
See, that to me, like, the time it took him to transform, I was already right next to it. So to me, him coming towards me.
Sometimes, depending on how it goes, but especially for if you're playing this on a harder difficulty, you definitely want to pick Megatron because that cannon hits.
Yeah, that cannon will hit like a truck. But we're coming towards the end of the run now, guys. So the previous world record was held by EagleForce at 2:27 something, I think. 2:27:17, I think it was.
Something like that.
But yeah, if you look, it is, and I'm not saying that. I think you've probably got a lot more optimization in terms of killing enemies, but it is literally the vortex skip is basically.
I'm so tempted to just tell the girl, it's like, hey, I'm gonna be busy tonight, just like play this game. I'm so tempted. I'm like,
and there you go.
It's really frustrating knowing how close.
And there you go.
Wow. That's actually funny. It's like 23,050.
But obviously we still have some calculations to do, which I do put in this video as well. So yeah, the calculation is removing all the load screens, which I do. I believe I've done it. There might need to be some rejigging of it. I'm not sure, but there we go. That is the end of the game. At this point, I was like, I rushed downstairs and to tell the wife, I was like, I think I've just beaten the world record for this game. And here we go. So this is me timing the load screens here. As you can see, there's not a lot of them, to be fair. Although one of them was me having to re-bloody start because Starscream's level glitched out.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks, but at least I can gain 2 seconds of the 25 I lost, or 20 I lost. And, yeah. And that's it. There you go. Final 2 frames are being shown on screen right now. Final time RTA was 2:22:59 after I retimed it. Final load screen segments is 26 seconds and 1, which means the final time LRT is 2 minutes, 22 seconds, 33:11. And there you go.
Very specific.
And that's it. That's it. It's all done with. And I guess right now on screen you're now seeing Hardshell run around. Being Hardshell, being awesome, his little thing. But yeah, anything you wanna add? There will be another video if you've watched this far. Congratulations. That was a long time. What are you doing? Go and get yourself a drink. But obviously, leave a like on the video, etc. There will be a video out tomorrow where I show you like a cut down version of this and a cut down version of my very first run, which was I think nearly 3 hours long. Running the game. So yeah, there'll be a bit of that tomorrow, explaining a little bit more depth about what I was doing, etc., etc. So make sure you watch that. But is there anything else you'd like to add, EagleForce?
I mean, not really. I mean, there's a lot of discussion, but I guess I just appreciate somebody like actually like taking the time that has like a little bit of influence to actually like investigate this game and make something about it. That's just, I don't know. It's really sad because I mean, like I said, there's very few people that have ever run this game. I mean, if you look, there's 18 players that have ever speedrun this game in any capacity. Most of us that have run this game are like repeats. Most people only do like a one-off. So I think the biggest problem with this game is that you can't get not a lot of community. Yeah. Well, there's that too, and like that was the other thing is like we were talking about this a little bit, but it's like you can't like those DLC guns. It's like you can't really get them, and I mean there's like some places you can buy like a like a copy of it, but sometimes they're like really expensive.
Yeah, like 100
quid. War
for
Cybertron, for example, it would like the only way you could buy it was spending like $300.
What?
It was just like, wow. Okay. Yeah.
So you can't. Yeah. And I guess obviously I would never suggest this, but obviously you could probably crack the game.
Yes. And we have allowed for War for Cybertron. We've not had the discussion about Fall of Cybertron yet. Mainly because for the longest time you could buy brand new copies off of Amazon. Now I don't know if you still can.
If I type in Fall of Cybertron, I'll put some multiplayer gameplay on the screen right now from a montage I did 10 years ago. So I hope you're enjoying that right now.
Okay, yeah. So actually, so if you go to GG Deals, not affiliated, you can in fact buy a Transformers Fall of Cybertron for $49.99. So these are official.
G2A do actually have one as well, 64 quids. And Kinguin have a War for Cybertron Steam key for £960.
Yes. And you can buy like Massive Fury Pack, Dinobot. Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. Transformers Fall of Cybertron bundle. Yeah. $800. Amazing. Cheap.
Yeah. I always wanted to play as G1
affordable.
Bruticus. I don't fancy paying 800 quid to have a skin.
I can't say, I'm getting there. I think maybe it might just be worth it. Maybe. One skin, $800.
One skin,
yeah,
800 quid. Yeah. Because you can't play it. Well, you can because of re-energize. I will definitely, guys, if you guys want to see me do it, I will spend an afternoon working out how to play re-energized, and maybe EagleForce can join me for that as well, and we can relive the old days.
I would be down.
Yeah, because the multiplayer on this game, the campaign is absolutely phenomenal, but the multiplayer on this game is honestly god tier.
I've still never found anything quite like it.
No, it's way more satisfying than Halo or any Call of Duty. You get a quad feed in Call of Duty via montage, and honestly, it's not as exciting as 2 kills in this game. Genuinely.
Yeah.
It's so tactical as well. So, that's it. If you guys are interested in speedrunning this game, speedrun.com. Eagle was lovely enough to answer loads of my questions, which is how I found him. He was lovely enough to show me some runs. There'll be a bit more of an explainer out here now, I guess, for people in the future who want to see, maybe run this game in the future yourself, and in higher quality, because this will be in 4K. Woo!
Unlike my 360.
Not dunking on your quality, Eagle.
Oh, man, my internet. Oh, man. Just sending you this audio is going to take like 3 hours. It's so bad.
Oh, dearie me. But guys, if you enjoyed the video, as I said, leave a like for EagleForce, and we will see you in the next video whenever that will release. I just need to edit it up. So yeah, this one's a lot more easy to edit because I just shoved the audio over the top of the gameplay. So this will be out. Have a good one. Bye.